I've got one more day left at work. Woohoo! So I'm very good.
Very nice.
Whee!
Okay, for the sake of some ease, I'll say fuck the recap, because we can get on with it, because this is our dear boy Double A Ron, unless you want to correct me, last game with us for a hot minute.
Well, I can still do some days in August. It just can't be Thursdays.
Mm.
We have the antenatal classes and things going on.
Ooh.
Oh, so cute. But I can't do some Thursday. I can do every Wednesday.
Wednesdays would work for me.
Wednesdays is fine with me.
Cat?
I don't know. I'll have to double check because I sometimes play Pathfinder with my family on a Wednesday.
Oh, that's so cute.
I need to double check.
Okay.
Um,
Well, it's
yeah, I don't think there's. I can do Tuesdays as well, but did you say that you can't do Tuesdays?
I cannot. Currently,
That was it.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesdays is best day for me because other days I'm either in Jersey or in Germany or at a festival.
Nice.
Woodstock.
Then, but I mean, I guess technically speaking, aggro isn't.
It's the last confirmed session.
Last confirmed.
Oh, now.
For now.
To be continued.
Yes.
Question mark.
Then, well, I mean, worst case, yeah, we just play this another day, I guess. But either way, whatever works. Cool.
I mean, I can double check. I might be able to swap my family Pathfinder to Thursdays and swap the days around because they only did Wednesdays because I couldn't do Thursdays.
Well,
I'll ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever rolls around.
Yeah, but I don't mind if you do. Oh, wait. Yeah, because it'd either be me not here or Aaron not here with me. I don't know.
Yeah. Then, in terms of recaps, it loosely was a bit of other Brewins stuff. I'm not gonna lie, my brain turned to mush the second I started talking.
We're all going back to Gustodon. Right.
Yeah.
We've already arrived back there.
Ew. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You were all allowed to have a couple of minutes to talk amongst yourselves in your old home, Lycorus's home, and yeah, after a bit of talk with Lupilla, you all said you were ready to leave, feeling established and, I mean, hopeful, considering the Yonima now has someone at least seemingly more mentally stable than the one who previously owned it. Returning to Gustodon, he uses the magical teleportation circle to transport you from there to his personal library, which is incredibly expansive and has very much a TARDIS effect. Where the second Lycoris left, with what little interest she could give, would turn around, look, and see it looks like just a simple home. About 2 stories maybe, not that big. Different on the inside though. I do believe that she went to go grab a drink. What about the rest of you though?
I think I went with Lupula to wherever the refugees now are.
Okay. Chloe.
I was shadowing Hesitari.
Trying to learn her ways. Chloe.
Oh, weren't 2 of you trapped in his library or something?
Oh yeah. So, I do believe Inessa had like tried to grab a book or something, and
I don't remember.
I have no memory of
yeah,
this.
Where are my notes?
I believe
I do, because apparently
Just
everything
fine.
came alive after
Yeah.
Lupula left.
she had tried to like grab a book or something or take something with her, and as you and Lupilla were leaving, he basically went, "Watch this." left left the door open, looked inside and like clicked his fingers, and you could see all of the many rows of books on the shelves start to flitter to life, and they're kind of like flapping like they have wings, and they're all flying around the room, and you see these maws of teeth start to be forged by the papers in the books, and yeah, they start to gently nip at Nessa's hand, as if to say, "Hands off." And they do kind of like swarm you like flies just to irritate you and Vlad. But yeah. Let's put... Is it... I'm trying to put music on and it's misbehaving. God damn it, why is it every other time it doesn't work? Uno momento, folks. There we go.
My mum's.
Jesus
That came out
Christ.
really loud. My mum was calling me, so I'll just be back in a second.
Okay.
That was so loud.
I guess it was because of the first time it played for you.
Yeah.
Hmm. Tavern music. Okay, so while Anessa is enjoying some light reading, aggressive reading you could call it, you and Lupula and apparently your new sidekick, Trafalgar, wander off to the place where he's currently keeping the folks of Alden. And for a bit of brevity, there is a half-hour walk across what looks to be a gated area that seems to be mostly just carved into the side of the mountain. As you eventually come to an edge where this large 10-foot silver gate stands, he pulls out a set of keys, unlocks it, and as he unlocks it, you kind of get a look, the pair of you, over the edge. You are about 300 feet from the ground, and there's an immediate like welling in your stomach looking down this far. But as he opens the gate, he snaps his fingers, and you see a couple of rocks start to float from underneath the ground, underneath where you're currently standing, and you see they form this very long land bridge that leads to the other side of this part of the mountain anyway. About a 30-foot walk, and he just kind of looks back to the pair of you. Yeah, I hope you're not afraid of heights.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think so.
He smiles a little. Well, worst case, I can always cast fly on you, or feather fall if it goes that badly. But
Thanks for the offer.
he just kind of like holds his hand out for you to take. Come, I won't let you fall.
I will take it, blushing slightly.
Takes your hand and slowly starts like guiding you. You got all there is. He takes your hand. He holds his arm behind his back so that you can follow, but you can kind of set the pace of your walking. assuming Trafalgar's following behind.
Yeah.
As you guys carry on 30 feet, you see the blocks of earth start to descend from the further back from where you were and return underneath the mountain. And you see they slot like Lego bricks and perfectly create this large block. As you guys reach a wall on the other side, he traces the shape of a door with his finger along the wall and then pushes it gently, and you see what looks to be the mask, the illusion on the wall break as all of the seeming just rock falls away like a liquid, and you see this just normal door, surprisingly, just a gentle brown door, no symbols or anything. It looks like it's been clean carved from the center of a tree where you would find the rings. And as he pushes it open, you see a staircase that leads straight up diagonally, and he offers for you two to step in first. And after walking in, he draws that same symbol around the door, and you see the door, as it's closing, you see another illusion of a wall of dirt, or not dirt, sorry, a rocky wall appear in front of the door, but this time as you're seeing it from the inside, you can see through the illusion, and the doors slowly close and hide the illusion from your vision. As you get to this point, you can all kind of hear the sounds of talking, and it's not incredibly loud. It sounds like about 3-4 people or so. As you start walking up, you enter this bright open room. There are these beautiful white tiles on the ground with some black tiles in between them, spread out by 3 spaces. There is 2 pillars in the dead center of this room, about 30 feet long, that hold up the roof. The roof itself is maybe
the messages I sent you?
Who? Me?
Ah, sorry. Talking to Kieran, thought I was muted.
Ah, okay. The roof is about 15 foot tall, and you see there's about 7 tables spread out, these circular tables. There are 4 individuals in the room, 2 of which seem to be drow armoured in full plate, hair tied back into a bun or into a ponytail. They look battle hardened. They're currently sat on the closest table, little mugs of ale in their hands, and they quickly look over, and you see they reach for the weapons quickly, but realising Lupilla's directly behind you, they soften quickly. The other 2 individuals at the further back of the room, you see, have similar robes to what Lupilla usually wears, these long, elegant, clearly nobility of some kind, or magical of some description. They appear to be a wood elf, slightly more, not rough exactly, but slightly less than a typical noble or drow would be, in terms of finesse, shall we say. And the other one appears to be a human. And they both look over with raised eyebrows. The 2 mages come walking over, hands tucked between their sleeves, and they both bow toward Lupilla. These are my allies in recent endeavours in the Ionima. Would you take them to the others, please? And the 2 mages kind of nod. The guards kind of stand, leave the ales down, and they grab little bits of what's left of their food, take quick bites, and then they flank you guys together. And Lupilla looks over toward them, just kind of gives them a nod and a half smile. These are my bodyguards. Well, more specifically, they protect my house. This is Estar, and this is Restar. They are twins. And as you look over the pair of them, they look at the pair of you and they give you both kind of a nod. They look you over a couple of times, Trafalgar, as given what you are, Aranea, and your general demeanour, they do kind of look at each other for a second, then look back at you with slightly raised eyebrows, as if they've seen you before, or they know something. You can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, it's not usual that people recognize me, so. Insight. Oh, why? Let me do that
I-
in public.
Don't know. I don't think I've been meddling with your sheet.
No, I think. Did I roll my HP? I don't know what I rolled last two.
Oh, I think there was something I asked you to roll specifically to me.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I just kind of like look the pair over. They do give a kind of quick glance and look you up and down for a second. The only real thing you can think of is, I mean, you kind of like look down, is your holy symbol showing? And then you think maybe it's the tails, but they shouldn't really be able to see that. And you can't quite snap as to what it is. Maybe Lupula's had you followed, or they've seen you in town, or it could literally be many things.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna ignore that then. Just assume that they're just admiring me for being a rare species.
I mean, to be fair, very freaking rare. They don't say anything otherwise. They just regard you and, of course, Asatari. And Lupilla kind of makes a gentle motion to them, hand wave, and they nod and sit back down onto their tables. As the mages kind of make a hand motion for you two to follow, Lupilla just says, I'll not be too far behind. I just have some business to take care of here quickly. An update and such. I have been gone for about a day. A lot can happen.
Sorry, we'll just nod at him.
As you follow the two mages, they lead you to the back wall. They both start with a fingertip touching one point on the back wall high up, and similar to what Lupilla did, they draw the frame of a door into the back wall, and they both gently push a section of the door open, and the second the crack of the door forms from their fingertips, finally connecting at the bottom, making the door, you see as the door slides open just a slight, you hear the sounds of cheering and merriment, and as the door slowly slides open, you see what looks to be a lush garden, a series of many different coloured plants and multiple different trees, and there's even one similar to that pink blooming tree that you saw in the keep that's further back on this hilltop, that is reaching high up into what looks to be the ceiling, where this seemingly consistent ray of fire, a sun ball of some kind, is emanating gentle heat downward. Conversely, though, surprisingly, there is what looks to be just behind that a ball of black that is currently being completely blocked by the ball of fire. And the tree is just constantly growing up, and you see its roots have stretched out across this mountainside, and it's trying to reach the sun itself. It's off by about 15 feet or so. The roof goes up for possibly like 120, 130. And you see There are small wooden, not small, sorry, 2-story wooden buildings that have been made with either fresh and very bountiful trees or have just recently been made. They seem some form of well kept. And you see the people of Alden are spread out all across this small town that's been grafted with nature as the emphasis. You see a lot of vines and gentle flowers and the like blooming on terraces, on the banisters over the second layers of the buildings. And as you kind of like look around, it is this dream come true for someone like Esatari, especially as you blink for a second and with your face senses, this place beams with it, and it kind of gives you that fluttering for a moment, and in a very weird way you feel like you're home. And it's not one of those, wow, this feels familiar to home. You actually have the same sense. You can feel the air has that same tingle. Even the heat is just about the right level. And that warmth in your chest and just looking round, and then it's only exceeded as you see your uncle in the distance talking to a probably impressionable young lady who you've all spoke with before, Ela, who is currently, her hand is currently held by his gently, and he's seemingly trying to put some charms over her, but she doesn't look like she quite understands what's going on, but is kind of just talking with him. But yeah, you can't see Frida at the minute, but you can see pretty much everyone else. Even Ela's brother seems to be wandering around in the distance. He does have this little, what looks to be like sickly green vein running around his neck, but beyond that he looks fine, and he's currently hanging gently over the banister on one of the 2-story buildings off in the distance, seemingly looking over toward his sister with something of a half smile. But yeah, you can see what looks to be a sign for some kind of recently made sign anyway, for a tavern. It's called The Junction. And outside of that you see a rocking chair with Hubert and Biscuit, the blink puppy. They're currently just sat there. Hubert is currently unconscious. Biscuit is sat on his lap, just gently pawing every now and again. But otherwise everyone is drinking, walking around, just trying to live a life, really. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, but like big sense of, you know, when like movies when they die and then like everyone they like want to just see is there and everything's nice and happy.
Yep. They're dead, and this is your nightmare. They'll
is the
die
afterlife.
again. Suddenly a demon. But yeah.
Astari will approach her uncle.
Okay. So let me just find quickly his character sheet, because it seems to have disappeared. Where are you hiding? Hold on, let me try actually searching by his name like a smart person. Jeez, where the hell is he hiding? Oh, there he is. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So, as you walk over, he doesn't notice you at first. He does kind of like have that kind of like small side eye where he clearly is looking towards the direction of someone coming his way, but he doesn't immediately just like put his attention on you. But then as you get a little bit closer, you kind of catch wind of them saying, "Yes, and I've been on many adventures, you know. It's obviously we went to the Underdark, but it's not my first time. Did you know that? I actually went there to forge this fantastic sword that this..." And then his eyes like catch the glimpse of you, and he kind of turns around and goes, "Yeah, but..." His eyes kind of like widen a little bit. He turns back to her and goes, "Just pardon me one moment." Turns around, immediately takes a step toward you, full arms around, pulls you in, and takes a massive hug of you. As he does that, he full on just hold you there for about 10 seconds. And after the first 5, you're just like, okay, well, this is a bit more than I expected. And then as it
It goes
continues
from like, yeah, to, yeah.
to, okay,
yeah.
there's an extent to how long you should hug someone. This is it. The next couple of seconds, you start to think, is should I be worried about this? And he just quietly says, I thought you got stuck down there. Oh, I can't exactly say anything. I was down there for ages too." He kind of loosens up a little and just gently places his arms on your shoulders instead. "I'm glad you got free. How are you? What happened? He's like looking you up and down, seeing if there's any like cuts or anything, or
I'm fine. I guess a lot happened. There was this weird tunnel. Thought I was gonna go insane. Very uncomfortable emotionally. And then our ghost friend sacrificed himself for us. And then one of my friends died and came back. And then another one died and came back. And then another one died and came back. And then another one died and didn't come back.
he raises an eyebrow. And the more you say died and comes or don't comes back, he's just like leaning back a little bit further. And Ela's just kind of like sat here just listening, looking at the pair of you. And as you start saying it, she's kind of like looking at you with that face of like clear concern for you. But she's just letting you two have that moment as she kind of like steps back just a little bit.
And you know, then the ancient, like, bad, but not actually bad, vampire lady was resurrected, but it turns out she's not so bad, so it's fine. And she's asleep again, don't worry about that. One of my friends, like, pseudo-dads died, but he's gonna come back. Don't need to worry about that either. There was a big dragon. That was pretty cool. I don't like how he treats his children, though. I don't think that's right. I helped vote a new leader of the Yawner Void. Yeah, so I'm now involved in politics. How's that?
His eyebrow. He's genuinely trying to find a way to facially express how both concerned and excited for you he is. His eyebrows raised as far as it can go, and the other one is lowered as far as it can go, and he's got this big smile like at the corner of his mouth, and he's kind of elated for you weirdly, and kind of like excitement in a way that you have for all of this that you're saying, but also still, clinical depression is evident in you, but at the same time, he's just like, as you're saying all this, he's looking you up and down, and he just smiles as you're talking. Do you continue?
I mean, I've been pretty much fine throughout all the dying. Physically. Yeah, I've not died yet.
He
Might be obvious, but it isn't really.
he does kind of smile a little and just nods. Well, you yeah, let's please avoid that. I've never died myself. Don't really want to give it a go. But if anyone's got to die here, at least let it not be you.
I see. I was beginning to think it was a lot more normal than I originally thought it was.
No. You and your friends are really strange. Dying once in a group? Okay, I mean, maybe. You're adventurous, sure. Multiple times? You're either fighting something that is very catastrophic, or you're all mad. But, I mean, they're mostly alive? He kind of shrugs.
Yeah, we need to go find the last friend who died. They're not dead somewhere else now.
You see, as he kind of squints and looks away, raises an eyebrow, tries to think of what the hell that's supposed to mean. Okay.
It's not a cult, I swear.
I mean, look, I've had to do some difficult things in my life. I'm not going to start criticising you and your choices, he says as he points towards Trafalgar standing behind you.
He's one of the ones who died a bit.
And you're sure this is not a cult thing?
Well, I guess I don't have any prior experience.
Well, is Trafalgar... Does he openly wear his symbol?
Yeah, he's openly wearing it at the minute, but when we get to the main area of the city, he'll tuck it away.
Okay. You see, as he's looking at you, he does notice the symbol, and he does kind of shake his head a little bit. Are you sure it's not a cult thing? I mean, Kalemvor's okay, but he's still all about death. So, not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying it's fine if that is what you're into.
He's not about death. It's balance.
Oh, so you do talk. Oh, that's interesting. He steps forward a little.
Square up to it.
What's the size difference?
It doesn't matter. I square up to him.
Who are you talking to?
Uldir, Esatari's uncle,
Oh, I
who I do believe is in the 6-footer area, or something like that, right?
He looks tall,
Mm.
but it can be deceiving.
Mm. It's the machismo and the confidence, just generally. So as he's looking down to you, there is that moment of you two do have that square off, that stare down for a second, and as he's looking down at you with this pure grit of I will snap you kind of face, it very quickly breaks. He doesn't maintain that. You actually see him turn away and laugh a little to himself. I'm sorry, I'm not that way inclined. You're one of Esatari's friends, so that immediately makes you pretty much family.
Sorry's just nodding and gives Trafalgar a thumbs up.
That's taken me a bit by surprise. I'm not entirely sure what to say.
No, tell me though. He leans forward, uncomfortably forward, till your noses are barely an inch apart, and looks you square in the eyes. What's your weapon of choice?
It's been the dagger, but I'm quite enjoying these little blades, and I'm gonna pull out the. I don't actually know which ones these are called. What are they called? Where's my thing? What are they called, Lee? What are the blades called?
They're called blades.
Lawbreaker.
Thing 1, thing 2.
You think one thing too. But yeah, Lawbreaker.
Yeah.
Because he kind of like leans back and he looks at them. You see, he raises his eyebrows a little and goes, "Well, fuck me. I was going to offer you something, but fine. If you're going to flash legendary weapons at me."
Wait, what?
What did he flash at you?
My legendary weapon.
Put it away. Put it away.
Don't say it like that.
But it is.
He goes, "Yeah, I know what a fracture is. Come on, I'm a blacksmith."
Yeah. But what were you going to offer me?
No, I was just, you see, he like picks up this little bag that's sat down beside a tree that he and Neela were talking at, picks it up and pulls from out of it what looks to be these series of small daggers. They seem silver tipped, and as he picks them up, and they have what essentially is like a small circle at the bottom you can fit your finger through, and he kind of like spins it around and then lets go, grabs it by the handle and passes it to you and says, "No, I was going to give you these silver daggers, but I mean, you really don't need them."
Hold on. They might be useful.
He
If you don't mind.
he
I'm gonna
turns
pick them up.
and he looks at Asatari and just has a little smile, and then he, of course, gives you both of them.
Cool. Well, thank you.
He nods. But so from what I kind of recall, he looks at the pair of you. Your friend, Licorice? Lycoris, that's the one.
Oh, I love that. Licorice. She's a little bit bitter.
Just gonna send a little mental note to Trafalgar saying, should we both call her that when we see her next?
Oh, yes.
Sure, I've called that out of character before.
Yeah, that one. She had a fracture, if I recall. And then your other friend, the what do they call them? The Ornea? Naya?
Rewin, he's the one who's dead.
No,
But-
the girl that you like.
Oh, the other, sorry.
Oh, this is juicy.
We're just friends, Uncle. We're just friends.
He tilts his head a little bit. Oh,
So
okay. I thought there was something. Maybe I was. That doesn't matter.
And it's a cry to the corner.
Me too.
She had.
If you mean Anessa.
Oh, that one. She had one.
does?
Yeah, the little thing with the water and.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
another fracture?
Yeah, the fracture
So,
of
her cup.
the fracture of life.
It's a jug. A decanter,
Wait.
actually.
Mhm.
Wait,
Nice.
if hers is the fracture of life, what's mine?
Tails.
He just kind of raises his eyebrows and goes, "It's kind of in the name."
Oh, that's a bit boring.
Well, I mean, it's the perfect antithesis of Sin Eater. Did you not?
Lawbreaker is neither. Well,
Did you not see the relevance? Sin Eater is the stupid as it sounds, the fracture of law, and Lawbreaker is the fracture of sin.
what's gonna break Oh, so I'm stronger than Lycoris right now with these blades.
Well, I couldn't say. I think it really depends on how far you've progressed awakening them.
Oh, oh, trust me, I'm stronger than Lycoris right now with these blades.
He kind of like raises
And
his
then I'm
eyebrow.
and then I'm gonna wander off and just start swinging them around, practicing a bit. Oh,
They are on chains
Not
that can
listening,
extend.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the chains themselves, you can hold the blades as they are, and they have 5 feet of chain between them, or you can just easily the links will just magically create themselves and allow you to extend it by about
See,
20 feet or so.
I gotta get this practice in, so I know these things.
Yeah. So as you are like just walking off, like twirling them a little bit, there is this weird kind of energy you feel as you're twirling them, and you feel this like kind of sudden pain in the back of your eyes as you're twirling them. Not enough to want to close your eyes, but it's like someone just slightly scratched your like cheek or something, and then you feel your eyes like twitch, and you kind of like look around for a second, and you see a couple of the people from Alden here. There's one or two of them you've not met yet that have this little, what looks to be like red ring around their neck. Some of them it's very thin and you can just about barely see it. Others it's slightly bigger, and you kind of like look around, try to find as many different people as you can, and then you blink again, and as you look around, those rings have disappeared around them.
It's the imaginary news.
No.
But yeah, Uldir looks, watches him as he's leaving, eyebrow raised, then looks back down to you, Astori. Your friends are interesting, as usual.
That they are. And I'm also gonna send him a telepathic message saying, if one were to try and sever the bond between someone and their fracture, what would happen?
He raises an eyebrow for a second.
Dramatic?
Give me a second. Let's do a check. Bippity boppity. Get off my property. So he, after he raises his eyebrow, realizing, of course, this is obviously knowing it's you, he kind of looks around. He says telepathically back, through your ability. Well, that's not something that's typically recorded, but I did read once that if a connection is broken, if a connection is severed without the willingness of both parties, there's typically a catastrophic reaction, and usually the only way that can happen is if an almighty entity were involved, or, and then you see his eyes look over towards Trafalgar, a certain other fracture was involved. The items themselves can't be destroyed per se, but they, and very much funnily enough, they can be fractured. And if they're fractured, it technically forces the bond to be severed until it can be repaired. And I don't know how it could be repaired since it's never happened before.
Just, we know that Sin Eater comes with a potential downside for Lycoris. I'm assuming all of the fractures have a similar kind of a pitfall somewhere.
For all I am aware of, I think that might be something between Sin Eater and Lawbreaker, but I don't know. I don't particularly know for certainty about Lawbreaker. In total, I don't think so. It is not uncommon for someone to start feeling or sensing or hearing voices of the fracture, trying to guide them, but not to cause detrimental effects, because they need a good host. They need someone to help embody their existence and do what needs to be done. So
So it's just Lycoris having a toxic relationship with her fracture. That makes sense.
I presume. Maybe she's unfortunate. But at the very least, I can probably at a glance, with enough time studying, tell you what everything is capable of. But, I mean, it points again to Trafalgar, who's currently off in the distance. I can hazard a guess that he's not going to let me have a look at his blade.
Probably not. And we're not staying in town long anyway. We need to go to Janasta to look for our other friend.
Well, he steps forward a little bit and gently beats his chest, places his forehead onto yours, and you hear telepathically still, I shall be helping rebuild a home for these people. I'll be offering them my services, so when you come back you don't have to worry as much anymore. But if you need me, you know where I am.
I'm glad. I'll glance towards Ilya and continue telepathically. She's very nice. She helped us out a lot when we first met up. Be nice.
As he's leaning back, smiling a little bit, you hear him say aloud, well, I should get going. And then you hear telepathically as he turns around, he hoists his arm out for Ilya to take. Shall we go get a drink, Ilya? And then he says telepathically, don't worry. I'm just, how should I put it? Making friends. Getting ready for my next adventure. I'm getting old, you know.
He's gonna have a baby. That's the next adventure because he's getting old.
He, as he's turning away, and he picks up his bag, and just before he flips it over his shoulder, you see he turns back around to you and he holds it out to you. Center pocket. Just have a look. And as you kind of reach, you pull out what looks to be a series of small pink flowers, and what looks to be a handful of these gentle black and brown seeds with the tiniest little speck of what looks to be a pink dot. I managed to pick up one of these on my travels, and I don't think Alden can really accommodate. So if you want to go ahead and find somewhere nice to, start growing your own.
Thank you, this is the best.
He smiles very lightly, then throws the bag over his shoulder, looks to Willia and goes, shall we? And she just looks back at you. It was really nice seeing you, by the way, Satari.
We'll catch up next time.
I hope we do. And, I mean, if we don't, then you're always welcome anyway. And thank you. And all of your friends. Even Spooky over there.
I'll let him know.
She nods. The pair walk off, and you see they go towards the Junction Tavern. As you look around, that fresh air still fills your lungs, and you feel that kind of warmth, and you're just taking in for a moment. Is there anything else you want to do while you're here?
Just looking around, can I see Kier or Anriel?
You do not. Do you want to take some time to ask around about them?
No, they weren't with the refugees when I last saw. Well, actually, I'm gonna go over to Hubert because I want kisses from Biscuit.
Mm.
Gotta get kisses somewhere.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, that's just mean.
Biscuit kisses are the best.
As you walk over, Biscuit doesn't notice you at first. You see he's still kind of like pawing at Hubert's leg a little bit, not trying to get attention. It just seems to be like a kneading thing that he's doing. As you walk a little bit closer, you see his pawing kind of like stops, and you see he's like sniffing the air a little bit, and his eyes trail, and you notice he turns, looks toward you, and you're about 10 feet away, and you see his little eyes catch yours, and you see he like stands up, the tail starts wagging, and immediately like poof, so he disappears, and you're kind of like looking around, expecting him to fall on your shoulder or something, and then you just hear behind you, and you turn, look around, and he's sat gently on the floor behind you. He seems to have gotten a better control of his teleportation.
Hello, Biscuit.
Immediately like leaps
I'm
up
just
at you.
ignoring Hubert here. Just.
Oh, he's still asleep. Like, as you see him leap up at you, quickly like grab him in your arms, hold him, and very quickly is like just slobbering you. You notice he's gotten a little bit bigger. He's not like suddenly a whole different shape or anything, a different dog.
He just needs more walks.
Yeah, he's just slightly bigger, a little bit more muscle, a little bit more weight. Gives you a large like slobber across the cheek, and it just starts gently pawing at your shoulders, and yeah, then leans his head gently onto your shoulder, and then she's kind of like cradling him there for a second, hearing him very gently just panting and looking around at everybody and everything. You see Freed come walking from the opposite direction, walking out of one of the houses, closer toward where the door was formed. Which, Trafalgar, as you're kind of just walking around, testing out your new blades, you see Freed walking out of one of the houses, and he's currently like in path with you. Do you do anything before he sees you, or?
Swerve.
Okay. Do you go into one of the other houses, or do you just start walking?
No, I just start turning away so I'm not facing him. So I pretend I've not seen him, and I carry on practicing.
Okay.
And hope he's seen that I've turned away, so I don't want to be distracted and talked to. It's like when you're on the bus and you put your headphones in.
Yes. Give me a second. Making sure I pressed the right thing for the right thing. I did. Cool. Yeah. As you turn away and start walking off, you just start walking and kind of like practicing with your blades a little bit. And you hear, young man, excuse me, can you be careful with those?
Grab both of them, and I'll stand and I'll wait until I think he's passed. And well, I can sense when he's gone past with my tremor sense,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will return to practice.
You hear the sounds of footsteps coming your way. You feel the tremor sense at the 10 feet behind you. As you're kind of like stopping and just waiting for him to pass. You feel his hand gently tap your shoulder.
Oh shit! As I sense him reaching out, I run for it.
Okay. You just start bolting. He's like, excuse me. And yeah, you don't hear him chasing after you, but you just start running.
Because last time that we weren't working for him, he threw me in a cell.
That's a fair point.
I was just thinking that's the first time we met.
And you're seeing this entire thing as Satari. And then what you also see is a freed Brookwind, not wearing armor, wearing casual clothes, run. He fucking sprints. Now, the thing is, Trafalgar has many dash options, but that's not going to stop Freed trying. As you just see this little blur start running. And as your hood falls back from the speed you start running, your hair is revealed a little bit. Not enough to identify you fully. But as you're running, you try to find a corner, you try and find this anywhere you can go that is just out of sight long enough to hide. Hello. Freddy's like running the distance, trying to chase after you, but as he like is just about getting toward you, Esatari, just walking past the junction, he stops and just puts his hands on his legs and just goes, "My word, whoever the fuck that is getting beheaded if I ever catch him. Oh my god, why can he run so fast? I'm out of stamina. Am I getting old?" Turns and looks at you directly, Esatari, and goes, "Oh, Esatari, hello. Apologies, I didn't mean to swear. How are we?"
I'm good. Please don't dwell on him. But just forget about that kid. How are you? How have you been since we last saw you? You all got out fine, obviously.
You see, along, from just beneath his ear, behind the earlobe, you can see the starting of a scar that leads down underneath his jawbone and down, just stopping around where the Adam's apple would be. As well as another one that's just beneath his right eye. It's only like an inch scar. His hair is a little shorter. He seems a little burlier, like in around the chest and arms region. Clearly has avoided leg day though. But otherwise, physically he looks okay. He just says, "Well, I'm actually not bad, even with recent events and everything that came with it. My people have been given a great boon because of Lupula. This place in particular," he said, "while we are constructing Alden again, we can use as a home base, and it is a marvel. And if I'm being honest, given my people are from a natural terrain such as this, it feels good for the soul. I kinda needed a break. My people needed a break after all of this. But
You've all deserved it.
indeed. And being here the last couple of days it has done a world of good for them. From what I heard, after our own excursion in the Underdark, it wasn't too much longer after that the horde that was set for Gustodon was halted, and they apparently fell to dust. I am to assume that you and your comrades were involved in that.
Somewhat, yeah.
Hmm.
There is a new leader in charge of the Yornama. Hopefully, he may have less issues.
Ah, then I take it the plans went to fruition. By any
In-
chance, I don't see the rest of your allies here, so I doubt it, but did Rodrigue, did he succeed?
Yes, it is in fact he who is now on the throne up there.
You see, there's kind of there is a little bit of a smile, but there's a bit of a sadness to it. He just kind of nods a little bit. Then,
But he was a great help.
no, he always was conniving enough to do the right thing in the right way. I'm the last one of the old guard then. With Nove gone and him locked away there. Well, all the better. It means he's that much closer to his dream of reuniting with his loved one. And
It's alright, I have to ask. Did you have any trouble from the Myconids when you were leaving the Underdark?
there was a few social problems, but not so much otherwise. No, how come?
Good. I just heard some disparaging rumours about them, and I just didn't believe them, so I'm glad to know that they weren't trying to eat you.
He raises an eyebrow. As far as I'm aware, they're naturally growing entities, or at least that's what they constantly told me anyway. They actually, I don't even think they have mouths.
I mean, more, I don't know, consume your minds or something.
Oh yes, I could actually see them doing that.
But they didn't!
No, they didn't. And as many people as we entered with, I believe, also exited.
Sorry, just like nodding satisfactorily to herself and glancing in the way that Trafalgar disappeared up into, like, yeah.
He nods a little bit. But, yeah, I do believe it's as little as the people as we started. Oh, we've ended with... We've got enough of my people to continue and rebuild. Despite all of that. And I mean, at the very least, it's a story we can tell generations of children. We survived not only the Underdark, we lived with Myconids, we lived in this haven, we were with the people of Custodian, we survived the landslide. At this point, you know what, I'm not gonna risk karmic injustice on that. I'll just end by saying good things can only come from here. And if you and your party should ever want somewhere to go, I will have a place established for you in the new Alden. A hub. An adventurer's hub, if you would like.
Thank you. And all I know is the people of Alden are obviously very resilient, and they deserve good things to come. My uncle has said that he is planning on staying to help you rebuild.
Ah, yes, Uldir.
Yes. I'm glancing towards the sleeping Hubert. I hope that they will get on and it won't be a cause
Yeah,
of conflict.
I'm from what I've heard, it sounds like, and he kind of like leans a little bit closer. Sounds like Hubert is reopening his family's forge here in Gustodden. So I think technically, as long as I don't tell him anything, we'll probably be fine.
I guess I'll have to come here to visit Biscuit. The important things, you know.
Of course.
Have you seen anything of Kier or Anriel?
Whom? Sorry?
They were guards for you, weren't they?
He...
There was Noble Sinon,
You see, he
and
kind
then
of
there was,
like...
and then there was
Originally.
the other two.
You see, he kind of like thinks for a second, then he goes... His eyes blink rapidly, and he goes, Of course, I'm sorry. With everything going on, I haven't. I assumed they were with the dead. We haven't seen them since we arrived.
Well, thank you. I was just hoping to perhaps be able to report back on their health to someone I know who cares, even though she won't say it.
Oh. Well, if you do manage to find them, please extend the welcome. I don't know if it's my place. He looks around to invite them here, but if you're able, at least direct them for me.
Sorry, she's just like thinking in her mind about the creepy ass staff that Kier has.
Oh, it's a scythe.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I'll try and remember to mention it to them.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to you see, he's like looking around to give or take where Trafalgar ran off to. I'm going to go chase down that young man. Swinging around blades is just asking for someone to get hurt. Oh God.
Estara's gonna go look for a high vantage point where she can maybe see him and call him over and mentally.
Okay. So, as you and Biscuit currently like cuddled up together, Trafalgar, what would you have been doing? Just swinging them about a bit and then wandered off?
Yeah. I'd have carried on swinging him around a bit, and then I think I'd have got bored. It's got me in a little bit of trouble, but then I think it's bored me a bit as well because nothing's happened, and he gave up. So I would just slowly wander my way back through towards where I know Esatari and her uncle were.
Okay. At first, as you like turn in the corner, you see Fried and her still talking, and then just like, oh god damn it! If I leave now, they'll see me. And then you kind of like gingerly step out and around, and you find somewhere a little bit more quiet that you can hide. That he shouldn't find you, and you climb up onto the roof of one of the houses and just have an overwatch for a bit. Eventually, you see that they finish talking, and he starts to wander off, looking generally toward where you ran to. And yeah, he kind of wanders off. You see Esatari looks generally about where you were too, trying to find you. Do you do anything? Do you just wait for the pair to wander by?
No, I'll head up. I'll head over to Esatari, and I'll just be like, "Are we done checking on everyone now? Can we get Lupula?"
She said, "Be right back."
Oh shit. I'm gonna go find Lupula then. In the meantime.
Okay. Then Anessa, what would you be doing? You are still currently in Lupilla's library.
I don't know.
You have all of Gustodon at your disposal. Sort of.
took Vlad with us, didn't we?
Yes.
Did Steve come to Gustodon? I can't remember where he met us.
Did who?
Did Vlad come to Gustodon? I can't
Yeah.
remember where he met us now. It was Gustodon. Okay. Well, I didn't get to see stuff before, so I guess just take a wander around town with him.
Okay.
Just have a
So
look and see what's going on.
so at first, as you leave the library and kind of like look around, you notice this long walkway in between two parts of the mountain that have been carved out, and it leads down to what looks to be silvery gates. As you walk to them with Vlad, it takes you like a good half hour. It's such a long hallway. As you walk down to it, when you finally get there, you see the gates are closed and locked. What do you want to do?
Oh.
They're only like 10 to 15 feet tall.
I want to look around and see why they're locked. Do I see anyone?
No. Surprisingly as well, as you like look beyond it, about 5 feet past that, you can see a drop down.
Oh. I just turn to Vlad and be like, I want to scale it.
He kind of raises an eyebrow and he will just kind of shrug and he'll lower himself down a little bit into a sort of crouched position, and then he'll shift his left leg a little bit behind himself, put his hands onto the ground, and then pushes himself off the ground. You see, with a high jump that you've never seen before, throws himself up into the air over the gate and lands just in front of the gate. Turns around and then pulls his eye down lightly and goes, bleh.
Little shit, grin. I'm going to.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
I'm gonna spread out my wings and then, like, just fly up over it, but like keeping my body really still, and just I've got my both middle fingers up as I go over it, just pointed at him, just like fuck you.
Sister, you know that's not fair. I can't do that yet.
Well, I can't do the jump, so how did he do the jump?
Who knows?
Right.
Either.
Yeah. Okay, now let's look around. What's the drop?
So, as you look down, you see 300-foot drop.
Oh.
But you can see directly underneath you Hightown.
Okay.
Sister, I can't drop down that and survive.
Oh really? Can't you?
Man.
He gives you that look of like, duh, rude.
Why is it so high? Do I remember being it? Sorry. I mean it right. Do I remember anything about why it is so high up? Are they so low down? Because I can't remember.
You,
Should I know this? Because I don't know.
as far as you know, it's plausible that this is one of the many, like, noble estates or something like that that are embedded into the side of the mountain.
Oh.
Uh,
So how do we get down?
I mean, you've got to maybe, like, fly or something.
Well, I can do that. But then how do we get back up?
Spider climb.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, we'll do it.
Are you just going to spider
just-
climb all the way down?
No, I fly. I pick up Vlad and I fly down.
Okay. So as you pick him up at first, he's like, "Now how are they going to get to?" And then you pick him up and just start flying downward.
Whee!
And at first there's that kind of anxiety where you're just like, oh no, what if I drop him? What if something goes wrong? What if they don't? What if there's people waiting down there with bows and arrows to shoot me down? And Vlad's just there like going, woo! As you two are gliding downwards. And you can see the entirety of Hightown. Where do you want to go? Or do you want to go to Lowtown? What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Is there anyone you want to see? Anything you might want?
Do I know anything about the shit to do with Orland or not? Like, I don't know what I actually know or what, Rachel just came to a conclusion with.
Like
out of
Reese.
character.
Like Reese, what would you have told the party?
Minimal.
Mm.
All you know is like when you saw it, because they saw in Lycoris's head at some point, didn't they?
Yes.
During that, she had a lot of anger towards towards Orlanth, but that was kind of it.
We were there when the dragon was explaining your bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So this-
only you were there when she got her memories back.
Yeah.
The others weren't there.
Well, I liked Orland, so
Yeah,
I thought
you
she
did.
was cool. And I'd be like, like
Yeah,
her
that's all you
next to
thought.
everyone. Yeah. I don't know what you mean.
Hmm.
Well, I think she's the only person I know here, is she?
I think you know Kieran and Riel somewhat.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Must
So
like
do you
Horace spoke to them now.
go to Orlanth under the
Yeah.
assumption you'll meet people there?
Yeah, I guess. I just want to show him around and just be like, so this is this place, and this is this place. Give him a little
Okay.
tour, just to kind of distract us from the craziness we've just been dealing with.
Okay. Well,
Even though
temporarily.
I don't actually know this place that well, so I'll just be like,
Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but has anyone ever seen Aphelia's Lament, the map?
I mean, I have because I
Oh,
made it.
well,
That
yeah.
doesn't count.
I think we've been in it.
Oh, little heartbreak, she's...
Has everyone been in this map before?
No.
Let me zoom out and
I
see.
don't think. Maybe. No.
I don't think so.
Well, welcome to Aphelia's Lament, the map made by our dear Rahael.
Hey, Rahael.
Rahael.
Thank you.
Why the fuck is
Orlanth-
Ishtar in Orlanth's bedroom?
Oh, hold on, I might have put tokens aside that were supposed to be in GM layer.
Oh, okay.
Such as...
This is where he was all along.
Oh, la, la.
I thought Orlanth left as well.
Yeah, I thought Orlanth had fucked off.
She
She
got on the
has.
boats and went.
She
Oh,
has.
so she just got. Okay.
This map was made a long time ago. Let me just try and remember.
Wow, there's a lot of sexy tieflings there. Are they sexy?
They are the male. Let's call it attendants.
Attendants.
Targeted deal. This was to be my next destination.
VIP section.
Or at least you can meet up there.
Yeah.
The stage where you all did karaoke.
For context, I didn't make this up out of my head. I sat on chat while Lee explained to me what he imagined it to be, and then I did it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to wait up to meet with Anessa while I'm trying to find my boyfriend.
I mean, he's there. He's literally there.
His
Sat.
bookshop's next door, okay?
Word.
He's also sat with people who he protected the city alongside. He got friends. So yeah, Anessa, you arrive. The place doesn't exactly have the same atmosphere. There's kind of a cold air. Music isn't constantly playing, and despite not realizing it at the time, there isn't this sweet smell on the air anymore. You immediately notice the scent is missing. It seemed to be so fragrant in the place that it just became a natural thing that you drew in. It's natural, like breathing. And I just kind of like look around for a second. You see a lot less patrons as well. What do you want to do?
So, Vlad, this is a pub. That's all it is. Just a pub.
He's looking at you. He knows.
No, he doesn't.
He
It's
For
fine.
some
absolutely
reason,
knows.
I feel like Vlad's been here before.
I think he might have been, but I don't
He
know.
definitely has
We
because
met Orlin.
he knew that Oralinth was a entertainer,
Yeah.
and you were like, "How the fuck do you know that?"
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that he has been.
You just keep bringing your brother to brothels.
No, and to, really dangerous places.
Model sister, everybody.
I am. Yeah, it's like, so this is the pub, and he'll be like, this Jack been here? And I'll be like, oh. Well, this is the only place here I know. And having a look around, and I'd just say it's very different from the last time we came here. See if there's anyone we know.
And of course, you're looking around. You do see, all far back, there is a table of familiar faces. Some slightly more familiar than others. From what little you can see as of the minute, each of them look a little, not rough or anything, but they do have a few, like, fresh wounds here and there, like scars, or slightly more dirtied in places. But they're all still alive.
Nice.
And you see they're currently like sat around the table, each holding a set of cards in their hands, and they kind of like look around at each other, and they seem to be just casually talking.
I'll go over to the bar, and I will order a rum and a water.
It's pretty bold that you walk straight past them, don't even look at them to order drinks.
Yep. And then once I've got the rum and the water, why can't I move myself? I can move blood, I can't move. Okay, thank you. Once I've got that, I'm gonna
That's weird.
I can do it now.
Hold on. Boop. There we go.
There you go. Yes.
I'm gonna do a general perception check because they're currently engaged.
Yay.
Do you have any intention of hiding the fact that you're walking past them, all nonchalant?
I was gonna just go get the drinks, then just go over to the table and just be like, hi.
Okay. So as you're walking along, you walk past the tables. Ilsmar's the first to see you, and his eyes raised. There is a smile that kind of creeps, and he looks past you toward the door for a second, thinking there might be others.
I glare at him.
As you walk off toward the bar and you order some drinks, you see that they've all turned around and they're all looking toward you and Vlad. What do you want to do?
I guess if they're already are they obviously looking at us?
Oh yeah, no, they're straight up looking at you, and Kira's his arms crossed. Anriel is looking over at you with a grin.
I'll just get my rum. How much does the rum cost?
That will be. Seemingly they're doing. Let's call it a fire sale. So it's currently 1 copper piece.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I'll get 2. I'll put that down. There we go. Is the water free?
No, 50 gold pieces. War ain't cheap.
Ah!
I'm kidding.
I don't even have that.
As you walk over and you ask for your rum and water, the attendant tells you that because of unforeseen circumstances with the management, the place will not stay open for much longer. So they are pretty much selling everything as cheap as they can, and they're taking the profits and possibly going to open a different business.
Okay. Just walk over.
Disappointment.
I'll just spread my arms out and just be like, fellas!
So,
How are we all?
firstly, Jasper, the one on the right hand side, looks over toward you, raises a glass a little bit. You can see he's kind of like staring at you, kind of like staring through you almost, or almost as if you've got four of you in front of him, and he's kind of like squinting a little bit, trying to look at you like, oh, I've had slightly one for many. Could you stop wobbling around for a second?
I'll try. And I turn to Unreal and just raise my glass towards him, have a drink, and say, so, management issues? Place
He-
is closing?
He
What did I
raises an eyebrow and has sort of a sad look and goes, yeah, she sounds like she left. I don't really know much more than that. The girls have all been sort of saying something like there was a conflict of interest and she had to get out of town. She'd offered to bring everyone with her, said she was just going to leave for another place for a while, but yeah, she's kind of just uprooted. Apparently she got on the first boat she could. This was all during the zombie apocalypse. It'd
Just
be
look up a little bit distant for a second, just taking it in.
it'd be kind of sad to see this place go down, to be honest. Got a lot of good memories, and not just the ones you think.
I'll pull over a stool and be like, share these memories, and I'll just get a little seat for the ladder. I'll leave him to pull his own stool over.
So,
As long as they're, PG. Point to him.
oh yeah, no, anytime there's a non-PG, he kind of like looks over toward Vlad for a second, then looks over toward you with a raised eyebrow.
He's like, I know what it is. No, you don't. You're a child.
So the entire time you are there with them, a couple of things to note is firstly, Kia doesn't seem to have the scythe here with him. Unreal he's always had some like tattooing and the like, but you see now around his neck he has what looks to be a series of what looks to be like flower petals that are growing from underneath his chin down toward his chest. You're not sure if it's a new tattoo or if it's something else. His eyes have taken on a slightly more golden hue, not similar to yours would have been. His have kind of more of a dull golden look to it, whereas Kia he's not wearing his glasses anymore. He doesn't really talk as much either, unless he's saying like, here's my pay, this is my card, so on so on. He will do very small talk, but not for long. He looks thinner than you remember him, and there's a kind of a strangeness to him from time to time. He looks a little bit paler than you remember. But yeah, he's odd. And Iltmar, pretty much the same. He looks as prim and pristine as you remember seeing him last time. You kind of hate him for it.
I do.
other than the fact he's got a couple of what looks to be like very dull scars in the shape of 3 claws on his neck, he's pretty fine. And I mean Jasper, he's, as far as you even vaguely remember, he's always had like scarring, and yeah, he otherwise just looked normal.
Yeah.
Except for the fact at one point during the middle of the night he would just crash, as he has had probably twice his weight in drink.
Oh wow. I want to turn to Ultsamar and just be like, what about you? Any fond memories of this place that you'd like to share?
He
I give him like a
turns-
challenging look.
Not really, no. I've obviously been here before, but not for the kind of reasons you might think. It's sort of a good hub to sit down and read a book. As weird as it may sound, the lively atmosphere has been helpful. And Orlinth, I don't know, she always had a weird penchant for being able to understand and help me with my spellcrafting skills. Speaking of, you've got a connection with spellcrafting folk, right?
I might.
Well, my shop kind of got utterly destroyed in the attack, so
Oh no.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was waiting for you to be like, oh no, how terrible.
is there anything I can? Oh no. And I'm looking to change businesses for a time. And with my spellcraft, I can create scrolls of a minimum of about 4th, maybe 5th level, with good enough time. I was thinking maybe you want to go into business.
Oh my god. He gets like an eyebrow twitch. Just looking at him. 4th or 5th levels might be agreeable, I suppose.
He nods a little bit. Okay. Well, just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Does he know why Anessa is so adverse to talking to him? Like, does he get why, or is he just completely oblivious?
Who knows? Anessa can make an insight check.
I do want to know.
Like,
I do.
I'm just imagining him as like this
Well,
like
put it this way:
Ken-esque character that doesn't even understand that he's upset. He just thinks that Anessa's a bit of a bitch.
Well,
He's like,
Like,
why is she so rude to me?
She's like,
If-
she never liked me from the beginning. It's odd.
someone can use their inspiration, and I will give you the answer as an inspiration question, or we can have Anessa do a DC 15 insight check.
50?
15.
15.
Come on,
Well,
50
like-
is literally impossible unless you're like
Well,
full
like, I
level.
thought you were gonna make me roll a D100 and see
No.
what that was. Insight.
Yes.
Let's go, beach. Fuck.
She doesn't care enough.
No, she don't.
No, you're just there like
Classy.
you're just there like he wants to fucking get me into business. Fuck this bitch.
The
This guy.
audacity of this bitch.
Audacity.
Actual audacity.
Try to steal my girl. Now you want to take me out of the.
He
out of the
successfully stole my girl. That's why it hurt.
I mean,
You
was
slept with
she
Orlin first!
even was she even yours to be stolen?
No. Anessa did sleep with Orlin.
You literally slept with her. The next day, I like spoke to a boy. And you're like, I can't believe you've done this.
Not to you, to him.
So.
He's my love rival.
And he doesn't even know.
He doesn't. He's got no fucking clue. Oh. But Anessa doesn't know what a good relationship is. She doesn't actually know what an actual relationship is anyway. only good relationship she's got is with her brother. Ah, I just saw a message from Lumi. Did you guys see it on the
Yep.
Amazon stuff? Yeah, let's play with Lumi. I got invited to play Phasmophobia at some point as well. Massive prince. Anyways, can Vlad see if he knows what's going on?
I'll say insight check disadvantage because,
He doesn't know him that well.
yeah, I would say the intricacies of your
Fuck,
of
it wasn't a
your
disadvantage.
yeah, I'd say the intricacies of your trio is not something he'd really know much about, much less care too much about.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like looking you over as you're kind of there, lightly twitching and almost like shaking with rage, and he's kind of just like looking amongst everybody. He can tell it's about the Utsuma, but he doesn't seem to understand why. And yeah, after that, you guys just will spend the next bit of time just talking, playing cards, and yeah, just reliving for shit.
Cool.
Like Maurice, you went to find the nearest bar.
Mhm.
So from where you would have been, I mean, technically speaking, you'd have had to have waited for Lupula to summon stairs or something to get you down. Otherwise, you'd be. I mean, unless you wanted to spider climb all the way down to Hightown.
No, I'm going to aggressively spider climb down.
Fucking of course. Okay, so you climb up over along the side of the wall, go over the gate, and then you realise there's this massive drop, and you're just like, fuck, don't fucking care, I'm getting out of here. You start climbing down the side of the wall, and eventually the anger like subsides because a lot of time has passed. Not enough that it's gone, enough that it's not everything in your being. And as you reach the bottom of Hightown, you can really kind of go wherever you want. Like, enough people know your face to a degree to know that you've been here before, and those that don't will probably get a very quick face full of you. Where do you want to go? You said you wanted to go to a bar, and a lot of the ones in the Hightown are the more poncy, over-the-top ones that will probably just serve stuff like goblets of wine. So it depends
No,
what you're after.
I'll probably go to like a low town bar.
Mm.
One that I've been to before that I know of because I've already told Esatari where I'm going back at the castle.
Yeah. Okay.
So Esatari knows where I am. So just some dingy back alley pub in Lowtown.
Okay. Hmm. Do. So you'll come to a one. Well, it's a 2-floor, but only the first floor is for the drinking side of things. This dingy little place that's not near either of the two big city streets or the centre road that leads up to Hightown. You just find this offshoot, small, dingy pub. It's not even named. There is one what looks to be drow attendant. They're sort of that down on their luck, kind of like weirdly somehow bright white hair, like to show some kind of age. They look as if they've got like crow's feet, and they're like just sat literally on a stool behind the bar, just their head on the bar itself, their eyes facing down into the woodwork. And then as you open up the door, there's this gentle ringing that sounds kind of terrible. It sounds like the corner of the bell is hit with a ringer, but then it just warbles almost, and it kind of hurts your ear for a second. And then you see the head immediately flip up, and he goes, "Oh my god! Welcome." You see, he quickly like hops off the stool and pushes it out the way, and you see the glasses behind him are like, some of them are smashed, some of them just are a bit unclean. You can see a series of open bottles that are all along the tables in this room. There's about 3 tables in total, really. One small window right next to the door that's the only source of light that comes in, other than the candle he's got on the table side, the bar side. And you see he pulls up another candle, puts it on the bar side, lights it, and you can kind of get a better view. The place is dishevelled. It's a bit smashed up, but given what happened recently, it's probably more so that than his lack of tidiness, but could be both. And he very quickly pulls out what looks to be just a small, like, mug of ale. Immediately, he seems to slosh in something and then puts it on the counter side.
I'm gonna look at the ale and just say, anything harder?
Yes. You see, he like leans down. You hear the sound of him rummaging in a couple of bottles that topple over. One of them smashes, and he goes, fuck. Oh, it's empty. Never mind. And then he pulls out a bottle, puts it on the counter side. It's a small bottle with what looks to be like some kind of dark brownish liquid, but you can see through it clear enough. And he goes, well, this is some fire wine. It's more like a rum, really, but it's called fire wine. It'll burn going down, but it will help if you really want to get blasted quickly.
I'll take the bottle.
His eyes like beam open almost. Oh, that'll be 10 gold.
I'd just drop 10 gold and take the bottle and go and sit and start aggressively shuffling my tarot cards.
Okay, he takes 10 gold, looks at it like it's, a literal like rock of gold or something, and then he looks over toward you as you're shuffling your cards. And what demeanor are you giving off? Are you giving off that kind of just I just want to be left alone?
I guess.
Okay. He takes the gold, pockets it, and he just sits back at the counter side. He looks over at you every now and again, but otherwise he just leaves you to it. Do you want to shuffle your cards and do you want to do a reading?
I have my real cards as well, my nice deck.
Very nice.
Okay. Bruh. Okay. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna just look up every now and again to make sure he's not like talking to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling pretty paranoid right now.
Yeah, this place is incredibly dead. It's just him. And you, obviously.
Okay, the first card I pulled is the card of destroyed confidence, the feeling of being completely overwhelmed and wanting to give up. So that's pretty fucking apt.
Mm.
Second card is the magician. So
What was the first?
the first card was the Seven of Wands reversed. The second card is the magician, which is the representation of pure willpower.
Mm.
Basically, fucking taking everything available to you and making it so you get what you want. And the last one was the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, where are you? You become protective of what you've earned this time. So she has protectiveness and stability in the future, but the present and the immediate future are pretty fucking bleak. So that's a great sign. And she doesn't like the reading, so she's gonna start aggressively shuffling the cards again and just drinking at the same time.
Okay. You as you after about maybe an hour or so, everybody else is doing their own thing. You've currently got Anessa enjoying drinks with some of the party's friends. You've got Travaga evading the law as usual. Asatari
Typical.
trying to look out for him, and everybody else being the mother that she is unfortunately sat in the role of, but let's be honest, it's one that she's fit for. Looking after you idiots is a full-time job. And like Chorus sat alone at a bar, lamenting. But as you are sat there, getting drunker and drunker by the minute, the time being lost to you, you receive a letter. Someone walks into the bar and you kind of like half-assed look over, and a figure with black robes but the hood off. You see what looks to be gentle blonde hair, fair blonde hair, eyes that tell of youth, and most parts of their body is covered under the black cloak, but you see as they step forward, look down at you, you don't really make out what they're saying. In parts, you're a little bit out of it drunk-wise, and also there's a weird, like, buzzing in your ears. You just about make out what the lips are saying by reading the lips, and it's something along the lines of, I have a letter for you. And then they say something else. They pull what looks to be a letter out from their pocket. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
That's not me, that's Azatari. Oops. Oh wait, tell on disadvantage.
You see as the cloak is pulled aside for a second as they are drawing their hand out. You see the letter in their hand. You also see what looks to be a sword sheath on their side, and what looks to be like some kind of reddish coloured armour almost. They pull this letter out, place it down in front of you, and then they take a step back, give a little nod and a bow of some kind. Your eyes kind of like blurring, and you kind of like rub the corners of your eyes, and they leave the bar.
Okay. I guess I'll pick up the letter.
Okay. With blurry eyes, you kind of like look down at it. You turn it around, and as you're looking at the letter at first, your eyes have to really come into focus. You see that it's been stamped with the symbol of your clan on the back of it. And as you kind of get that burst of energy for a second, your eyes kind of stop blurring as much, and you like peel it off, open it out, unfurl it, and the first most important thing you see is it is signed by Ishikia. The letter states, there is a time for all things. This time will be the one that you get to live a life free from regret. But first, we have to start from the beginning. I am still alive, and I am waiting. Your training will continue. Come home, Lycoris Stone. And then it's just Ishikio's signing.
I'm just gonna scoff, crumple it up, shove it in my coat, and go back to what I was doing before.
Okay. And as you continue into the night, drinking away, just checking, Esatari.
Yep.
Would you have tried to find Lycoris at some point after you were finished in town?
After the refugees, I would have also gone towards Orleans
Mm.
first. And Ilsma's. Well, but mainly Ilsma's. I assume I cry my eyes out upon the sight of the burnt bookshop. The books!
Not, oh god, he could be dead, but oh, the books!
Who?
Utsuma who? Utsuma's what?
I'm just like full on like collapse, you know, onto my knees, wailing in the streets. The books!
Would Trafalgar have followed her?
Well,
Yeah.
I would have let him know where I was going at least.
Okay.
Or tried to.
So
Yeah, I went to get Lupula anyway to then get her, so we could leave and. So yeah, I would follow.
Okay. So you two easily meet back in the centre. Biscuit returns to Hubert after giving a large slobber to Esadari, and a very happy boy he is.
We will meet up again, Biscuit.
You two walk out. Lupula is still talking with his guards, but you see that the conversation seems more casual than relaxed. As you walk toward him, he takes note and he leads you guys in a quicker way, luckily with a teleportation. Not literal, he does use a magic circle. He brings you to the gates of Hightown and then leads you to Lowtown. He informs you that he has some business, so you might not see him for a while. But if there's any more world-ending threats, and in his words I shall say it, if there's any more world-ending threats, let's try and remember your local archmage, shall we?
I mean, I'd like to see you again before we leave to Janasta.
I've quite a lot of
Work.
things to, yeah,
That's understandable.
but I will try. If you or your friends can give me a sending, I will do my best.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you've done for us.
He looks over toward you with a slightly confused face. But you're the ones who went through so much. All I did was help the saviors of Custodon, and I will make sure your names are known. Next,
Escari's kind of got like her hands looped behind her back, and she's like looking down, like tapping her foot, like.
or I can just make sure you're reimbursed. Oh, as well, a gift. He moves his hand in a small arc above you, and you see a small, gentle purple portal open for a second that drops what looks to be this gentle purple with white colorations. What looks to be like a kind of leather armor of some kind.
Ooh.
This is for your friend Anessa. She really needs to upgrade her armor.
Yeah, good scrub.
I don't know what armor I've got.
12.
I'm sure she'll be very
I've
appreciative.
got what?
You've got 12 AC.
Oh. I thought you said I got twine armor. I was like,
Oh.
what's
Yeah,
twine armor?
you're just wrapped in rope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, shit, really?
No.
I thought
This
you
will-
got
this-
armor.
This will make her less likely to die, right? That's nice.
Mm.
What do I actually have?
Also, it is lined with spider weave, so it should help a little bit if she, wants any fun with webbing.
Spider-Man.
I started trying to figure out, like, is this an Aranea joke? Is it a sex joke? I don't know. I'm just
There is
thank
there is
you.
a-
I'll let her know.
there is a confusing like almost smirk on his face as you're thinking about it, but then it kind of returns to a casual smile and he just kind of nods. Well, I'm getting. Okay, no, that's. Yep, that's 3 sendings now. I've got to go. He looks
Of course. Thank you again.
looks at the
I'm
pair
sure.
of you.
I hope we meet again.
You better. And you keep in middling levels of trouble while you're here. Looking at Trafalgar, of course.
Just points at him. Like I don't know what that means.
Mhm. He smiles a little and he then points toward the distance where the Temple of Kalemvor is and says, I've heard that they're refilling their numbers and they're looking for new acolytes. Might be of interest to you. Anyway, I really have to go now. Bye bye. He then waves his hand forward and the circle that appeared to bring you here appears again in a flash and he just poof.
He's such a nice man, don't you think, Trafalgar?
Okay. Sorry.
Never mind. Let's go.
You two will head off to
You're going to Orleans, aren't they?
Yeah, the courtyard outside Orleans and Ulsa.
okay.
Telling me they need acolytes. I was asked by the man himself. Who the fuck does he think he is?
He's kind of governing Gustodon. That's who he thinks.
Who's fucking false power and bullshit? Grumbling along. Just grumbling along behind you.
Like a
Well-
little old man.
And I'm just there like, he's so charming.
Stealing you away like Horus.
Oh.
Okay, so the question is, do you consider a low roll to be you failing to keep up appearances and not going to Orleans? Failing to keep up your own appearances and your willpower and going to Orleans, or do you consider a high roll you failing and going to Orleans?
I think she sees going to Orleans as a weakness, so probably a failure.
Well, you failed that so well, so
I know I wasn't trying not to, but I was saying to Megan that I don't. Otherwise, there's going to be a whole prolonged thing of them coming to find me. So I was like, I'll roll and see what the dice say, and the dice say you get to be humiliated today. So woohoo!
okay. Yeah, well, that answered my question. Let's go. Hey, host.
Yes, yes, I'm 30.
Hey, Buzz.
Very excited.
So,
Um,
as you two appear in Orleans,
After I've cried outside the bookshop.
yeah. So, real quick with that, the bookshop has not been burned down.
Oh, okay, it's fine then.
But it has been. As you like walk up to the door is like on the ground, smashed to bits, crushed. The windows have, well, they're not even windows; they're just openings. All of the books that were like stocked and stacked high, kind of messily, are now like shredded, or like the spine has been pulled off, or there's pages missing, or there's just a full room just of random pages everywhere. You see some scorch marks and what looks to be like magical spells of some kind that has been flung around, more than likely by Utsamar in, you know, people invading his shop, zombies. And moving towards upstairs, you kind of get up there. The staircase that leads up there has completely collapsed. But looking up, you see it looks like there was some damage up there too, but it doesn't look as bad. So there might still be some recovery for it. But yeah, it's definitely one of those stories looking around just like, oh my god, this is either going to take forever to figure out and fix. All the books are dead.
I'd been regretting that I couldn't save Vantress this whole time, and now I'm like, God damn, the bitch deserved to die.
She deserved it.
All of the trees, all of the books. This bitch!
Up until then, I've been like, I wish I'd saved her, and I'm like, ah.
I wish I redeemed her. I could have changed her. But yeah. Yeah, after that, you go to Trafalgar to Orleans. You walk in and you can kind of go wherever you want. Move your tokens as you please. You can, of course, see the others piled around in a circle. What do you want to do?
That's a good question. What is what's the genasi called that was in Alden that's now sat here?
Aurus?
Yes, Oros Harkin.
Oh, I forgot. Horace Harkin, yeah. So as we walk in, I'm gonna kind of follow Esatari over to wherever she's going, and when I spot him, I'm gonna just drop back and excuse myself, and I want to go speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to ask basically if he's received or heard anything from my boss since I think I sent. He wasn't the last person I had contact with my boss with, but he was one of the last people.
Yep.
So just.
As you walk over, his arm on the side of the couch, his eyes drift toward you, and he actually sits up a little bit, leans back into the couch and says, "Why are you still in town?"
And I trusted people, and it caused me a bit of trouble, so I didn't get out of town quickly enough.
"I have a missive for you." He pulls out what looks to be like a small bead with 2 white dots in opposite positions. And he holds it forward toward you. He's not looking at you, but it holds it toward you.
Quickly take it from and then put it away somewhere safe.
You might want to crack it and read it somewhere quiet.
Oh, I intend to. Not whilst there's so many people around. Thanks for this anyway. I guess next time I owe you something.
No, believe me, your boss will keep me interested.
Okay then.
And then he looks over toward the fire genasi sitting across from him, who has her legs gently one crossed over the other. She's currently looking you up and down with more than just a business look.
Yeah. Do I recognise her? Have I had dealings with her before or seen her around?
I believe the only one who has encountered her is Anessa.
Okay.
I
So-
think I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember anything about that.
Vlad
Sorry.
was with you at the... No, that's fine. Vlad was with you at the time as well.
I feel like I was like making eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Vlad was like, "What you doing?" Oh, is she the flamey girl?
I think
Yeah.
in my notes she made a move on you and you said no, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, she was
Well-
something like, yeah, anytime if you want. And you were just like, oh, but shit to do. And this one
I was-
girl...
I was a changed woman.
Hmm.
You know, after all.
Trafalgar?
No, that's fine. After he's told me that and there's nothing else and she's checking up and down, I'm just gonna keep an eye on the fire genasi, but kind of head back towards where Esatari has wandered off to, wherever she's wandered off to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I catch up, like, oh, sorry about that, just some old friends.
So do you two walk straight to the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not impolite. We don't go to the bar first.
You don't know.
No.
So it goes without saying that I believe Nessa would immediately notice Esatari. You guys...
Why? Why would you think that?
You're the furthest back at the table. You have the best view.
Mm,
You overlook
always
everything.
a good view.
As you guys come over, you grab a couple more seats that are sparse around the place, chuck them together, and just have a moment. A bartender comes over, takes drink orders, and looking over each of you, you don't recognize them, but either through hearsay or maybe they're just nice. They say that they will give you your drinks for free. They have that kind of
Nice
look.
pay. 1 copper. What the fuck?
And then, yeah. After a couple of minutes, they go back, get your orders, bring each of you a round of drinks, and then they just leave you to entertain yourselves. That was the bot, by the way. What do you guys want to do? You just chat for a little bit, or is there anything specific you want to say in character?
Sorry, just want to check up on how they all fared during the attack.
I've been keeping it very light-hearted, and you've just gone straight in with that.
Yeah.
Let's relive the trauma, guys.
Sure.
Every time.
But it's probably the polite thing to do. I'm just like, no, ignore it. It's fine.
Like last time we saw each other was right before a massive battle. I thought I might say like, "You guys all right?"
I'm glad you're alive.
No, it's fine.
I saw
They're
your
here. Clearly,
bookshop.
they're fine. That's enough for me.
So, looking over them, Unreal's mostly fine, got new tats, looks kind of cool. Kia is weird, doesn't say much, he looks slightly paler than you remember. And I mean, everybody's favourite half-elf Jasper just is currently unconscious.
But in a good way, it's fine.
In a good way. He's having a nap.
Yes, he is.
And Iltsamar is slowly getting a bit buzzed himself, and obviously you notice Anessa every now and again side-eyes him. And other than that, that's just kind of enjoying the card game, really.
We're all having a great time.
Wow, that sounds so genuine.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to like speak to Elsma, like, I'm so sorry, I saw your shop. It's just so heartbreaking.
He kind of smiles a little and just says, "That's okay. I can make another shop. I can find make more books. And I mean, to be honest, I might be leaving that business behind for a little bit, just so I can make some money and make a better one." He turns, kind of like, looks into the corner of his eye at Anessa and then looks back at you and says, "I might have a business venture in the future with your friend here."
Sorry, just looking between two, shocked. Like, she'd been like tearing up thinking about the bookshop, but the shock has just gone like,
She's like, "You're
Oh,
what?"
you're so strong, and it's wonderful that you're looking to new horizons. She'd been like reaching out for his hand to like hold it, and then it pulls it back. It's like,
He looks forward with a smile and just says, "Well, we can't hold on to the past forever, can we?"
that's
He's-
true.
He's specifically looking at you as he says that, and you feel like there's something to it. You can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah.
Um, he seems to have some kind of knowledge or an understanding of you in relationshipy terms, where he seems to understand that anything that you two might have will either not be is either it's not a long-term thing, or at the very least right now it can't be. You are an adventurer and his life is here.
Oh, he's letting you down gently.
He's
letting me be free.
yeah. And you notice there is that slight hint of he's aware of someone's penchants for you.
I know.
He as he's like
A
smiling
number
and
of people.
smiling and looking at you, and you see he does kind of look to his left a little after he finishes the sentence. And
Vanessa's turned the other way, just drinking, just making very intense eye contact with Anriel as he speaks. Just like, yes, I'm so interested in what you have to say. I'm ignoring everything that's going on behind me. Even Vlad, Vlad's fine.
Estari just gives him a very comfortable smile. Like, I really hope that your new ventures are successful.
And you with yours. I know it's been successful so far, especially with all you've been fighting against. So, and if you can do all of that, the world is your... damn it, what's the saying?
Vanessa goes down and says, oyster!
Why would it be an oyster? Wait, oh no, I guess that kind of works. Yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna say
She
something
just-
like a mimic, but no, that makes more sense.
She turns back around because she's just giving herself away that she was listening.
See, the world is your shellfish. It is quite
It is.
inspirational.
But yeah,
have a little job to do upstairs. Don't mind me. Restroom.
Okay.
Are there any of Orlant's old friends here?
Do you ask that
What?
to...
Never mind.
Who do you ask? Who do you ask that to?
People who worked here. She's just like muttering to herself as she like walks away like, oh, that sounded weird.
I'm not sneaky at all.
I'm
Just-
just looking at Anessa. I want to see
Just-
Anessa's reaction.
As now a character note, anyone with a purple or pink ring are attendants. Experts in services.
Oh no, it sounds even weirder. Oh no.
This is what happens when we get rejected. We both just go for the attendance straight. We're just like, okay,
Just like, come with me.
gotta bang it out.
I like how you said anyone with a purple ring, and Anessa's got a purple ring.
Oh my god,
That's
yeah.
exactly what I was
Oh my
thinking.
god. So does Vlad, but, well, actually, no,
Oh,
okay,
no.
maybe not Vlad.
No,
Vlad's
he's
got a
got a purple
hexagon.
He
ring.
does. He does.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mine's
well,
there,
you,
yeah.
you go upstairs
Well,
and
you could
find
come with
yourself.
me if you want.
As you guys kind of are sat there, Satara just wanders upstairs in a very confusing, and you're pretty sure you know what she's doing, but at the same time it's just that weird, you can't believe it kind of thing, and you're just like, wait, is she? No, this is Satara. She doesn't do that kind of thing. You hear the sound of the doors slam open to the entrance to Orlant's, and the sound of something tap the ground for a second. As you look at the entrance, you see Lycoris. Do you want to explain what they see?
So Lycoris has fallen into the bar, and has just got off the floor, and is just stumbling drunkly towards the stairs.
Sounds good.
She doesn't even see any of you guys there. She's just like hyper focused on going up the stairs.
Okay. Wait. I did see her with her head in a lap before. What's happening?
When I get close enough to Asatari, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, Asatari, you're here!"
Oh god.
And then I will just go to my room and close the door.
Should we go do something about that, or is
Anything in the corridor, I'm gonna knock over on my way in, on purpose.
As she bumps past me, I'll just try and steady her and follow her along.
okay?
I'll be like, I'll go see if she's okay, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna wince with every crash I hear. I'm gonna wince, and then I'm gonna go like, "Oh, let's go check on that as well."
I've been here.
I'm crouched in front of my door, but I can't get the key in the keyhole because there's 4 keyholes. I just keep jabbing it into the wrong hole.
That's what she
I
said.
would like to try and assist her, or take the keys off her gently.
Okay.
There is no wrong hole.
Well,
Every hole is a goal.
well,
It's wrong when no hole exists.
okay. So as you come over, grab the keys from her gently, and hear the footsteps of the other two, you figure out the weird intricacies of which key is which, and eventually...
Is it even
the-
locked?
Oh, it's
It's
deadlocked,
locked, yeah.
man. It's got like 4 keys.
You do see signs of what looks to be like someone has tried to like open the door recently. The handle is currently held down, but you assume that's more because this place has been left by your length, that someone probably tried to get in there to see what was in there, because this place is closing down. They're getting rid of a lot of things, selling things and taking things, and you know. But this room, fully secured. The doors, seemingly reinforced by something. They do appear to be wood, but that only appears to be the frontal layer as more of a mask, so it fits in with everything else. And after you get all 4 keys and unlock the door, and you can enter inside.
I'm just gonna start rummaging through all my drawers and then just be like, Esatari, give me the bag! Give me the bag! Just start stuffing all my possessions into the bag.
Isatari's wondering whether to cure her drunkenness or not. She thinks
Wait,
maybe
wait,
not.
wait, wait, wait. Just hold on, hold on. Let's just
Yeah,
let's just see.
Jabaga's weakness!
Let's see. Let's just see where this goes. Lycoris, what exactly is your plan here?
I just get my things. I live here.
So why do you want to pack them away?
'Cause we're going.
And you're not coming
Good
back?
point.
Oh, no, no.
Why?
Because I don't want to live with that insufferable bitch.
But she's not here. She
Oh,
left.
Oh, it's typical for her. Well, the house will be empty then, so I might as well take all my things while I can.
No harm in
Well-
her keeping her possessions.
Well, let me help you then.
Don't touch anything,
Sure.
you slimy little rat!
Is there any way to talk to your friends whilst you're in this state? And you once scolded me for being like this.
I'm going into the corner where I keep all my most precious things, and I'm just gonna start shoveling them in a bag like a squirrel.
Literally just going to start throwing her socks and things towards Esatari so that she can start putting them in the bag.
Okay, do I need to update the bag,
There's-
the
there's-
rucksack of holding with all of Lycoris's possessions?
So for context, this cupboard here is just full of an assortment of daggers and knives and like switchblades and
Whatever's in it, and
sharp
just
things.
sliding across the floor towards Esatari, not to hit her. So sliding, not throwing.
That's got all the clothes.
By the end
That's
of it,
got all the
Esatari's-
personal stuff.
By the end of it, Esatari is
Push
a
it.
porcupine with daggers.
I'm just gonna start pulling out like loads of like leather-bound journals and shoving them in the bag.
You notice, as you're clearing everything in that cupboard, you find a couple of these small scented bottles, or bottles of scent even, that were given to you by Orlinth as a gift.
I'm gonna throw them against the wall and watch them smash.
That's a very
And you
intense
really-
smell.
And you really want, and you really want to take the journals of your time with her?
There is a weirdly, and you guys think about a certain person who made up a certain name recently, there is a weirdly licorice kind of smell that permeates from the wall now.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right to take the mick out of her when she's like this, though.
I hate licorice.
Save it for when
Why?
she's sober.
I'm just gonna pull out like it's just like loads of journals and then like random knickknacks.
I've just put Lycoris's stuff in the rucksack. If there's anything specific and important, just put it in yourself.
Well, drunk Lycoris thinks that you can't get anything out of the bag unless you know what it is, so she's fine because she thinks no one else can get it out the
No,
bag.
no, I mean for record, like.
She's just grab all anything that's Lycoris's that she's just shoving. I don't. It's more that they're important. It's more just like the principle of it's mine, so I'm taking it. The only important stuff is the stuff she's immediately put in the bag. Any other cupboard is just assorted knickknacks, books. There's a load of books from like Orlinth on the bookshelf if Vanessa wants them, but Lycoris is leaving the bookshelf alone because it's all Orlinth stuff.
I will take the books.
Okay. One of them in particular is interesting. because it reminds you of the night you spent with Orlith and a certain amount of positions that were involved that are also in the book.
Well, okay.
There is just an assorted amount of like poison ingredients in there as well.
Mm.
Just from the alchemy cupboard. But I don't know how much of it is usable because
Well, to be fair, I would say
it's
it equivalates to a poisonous kit. So if anyone wants to add a poisonous kit to their inventory, feel free.
yeah, I'm just chucking it at people like, you can have that.
Yeah,
You can have
yes.
that. That bitch gave me this, so you can have that too.
So after a series of mild, like, upset tosses of items here and there, is there any items of note that we need to write down that you would want Lycoris to take?
She's just got the journals in the bag. And there's a photo of her and Orlanth, but she's just chucked that against the wall and left it.
Okay. As it hits the ground, make a sanity check.
Uh-oh, already not great with sanity, but here we go.
Mm.
Ooh.
So as it smashes against the wall and the shattered piece of the glass starting to fall toward the ground, you look at the image for a second as it's almost like a time stop has been cast on you, and you see it very incredibly slowly falling toward the ground, and for you it's like a minute goes by, and then finally you hear the as the wood edges that keep it together break apart, and the picture is just covered in glass that drops on top of it, and you just hand on top of the shelf, just kind of push your head against the wall for a second as this overwhelming need to do something drastic comes to you. You need to get rid of this emotion right now, either by causing chaos or, well, I mean, all I'm going to say is Esatari was going somewhere completely different before she went here.
I'm gonna just be like, just sort of stand up like a zombie and just start walking towards Orlith's room.
Okay.
Oh.
Is it open?
Yes. The door is eked open just slight, and you can see
Okay.
a fair tiny little bit of candlelight.
I'm gonna push the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been ransacked, or is it as it was?
Mostly as it was. It looks like the assorted necklaces and the like have been removed. The cupboard is open and you see all the clothes are gone. But there does appear to be a couple of mostly empty bottles of perfume and the like. There's the nightstand.
I want to go to where I know her office is and open it because I know how to open it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything of value in there that she's left?
As you look around, at first there's nothing on the table. There is one open drawer that, as you kind of walk over towards, you can see what looks to be like a ink quill and a single piece of parchment. It's lying on it. Nothing's written in it. You see on a bookshelf, most books are in place except for one that's been removed. You're not sure what book it would have been. You wouldn't have analysed every single detail of this room to remember, but it seems weird to only take one of this otherwise flawless bookshelf. What do you do?
I'm just gonna look through the desk and look through the shelf and see if there's anything of value or anything that stands out.
You find in the drawer beneath the one that's opened, there is a lock on the drawer. The others don't have that. The others open immediately.
I'm gonna take out Sunita and start hacking the desk open.
Fair enough. Very quickly, it is cut in half down the middle, and then you chop the top of it off simply. The sword very quickly disappears after being used, and you see as the desk topples inward. As that top section falls off, sloughs off almost, you push it out of the way and pick up the portion that's left. Look inside and you see what looks to be a picture of you with the trapper, a picture of her with what looks to be a young man with blonde hair, very gentle blonde hair, and a long katana at his side. The face doesn't look familiar, but the armour that the figure wears is that of the clan. And she, in this image, is a younger version of herself. Quite a bit younger, like around about what would be equivalent to the 20s. And better yet, beneath that, you see what looks to be a piece of parchment that is delivered, is for her, that mentions her child will be looked after in her stead. And if problems should arise, they can alter his memory again.
Oh, I knew she was his mum! Is the photo the photo of Lycoris in the trapper the doctored one or an actual one? Is it the actual one the doctored version comes from?
It looks like a real picture. It looks exactly like the doctored one, but you don't know if she kept this for the sake of, oh, that's cute, or if it really is just, okay, I can use this to make another fake. There's no real like insight or anything you can purport for this, unless you get someone who's good at forgery to identify if it's a forgery or not. But nonetheless, it's a painted image essentially. It's not like you've photographed something. That's not technically a thing, air quotes. But you can possibly determine the age of the image if you can take it to someone who's good at forgery or painting, and they can...
Like Anessa?
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna shove them both in my pocket, and then I'm gonna leave the little room. I'm gonna pick up all the bottles of perfume and pour them on the bed, and then I'm gonna take out my flint and steel and set the bed on fire.
Oh my god, okay. so you
Can
attack.
I try and stop her at that point?
I'm assuming you guys would have been following, so yeah.
Yeah. But she is a lot stronger than me.
Wow, Trafalgar was already ahead.
Yep. He's burning... yeah.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yes!
So the
So
question...
I've kind of like grabbed like Chorus's hand and Trafalgar burns it anyway.
It's gonna be matching next door now.
I've forgotten that there's other people in this building because I'm
Yep.
in a blind rage.
Yep. You guys are in a wooden building, by the way, just saying. So...
Most of us are sober.
yeah.
You're the one that set Lycoris's room on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, sober.
She didn't ever express and trust me when I was in these kind of moods, so I'm going to do that for her. I'm going to encourage her behaviour right now.
I have a cantrip called Create Bonfire. I could totally help with this.
Oh my god.
I'm in Orlin's room with Lycoris trying to stop her burning the bed, so I can't try and stop Trafalgar.
I'm just screaming, "Why the fuck not?" at the top of like as loud as I can. Just let the whole fucking place burn.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna-
if it cures, like, can greater restoration
Yes.
cure drunkenness?
Yes. It's
Okay,
great.
I'm-
Absolutely.
No,
I'm gonna-
I am trying to. I'm stopping Lycoris before she burns Orlance.
Is the fire actually set? Because apparently, if it's a small fire, I can prestidigitate it away.
Well, it's the thing, because, like, so
I've just-
Drafalga's setting a fire in
Like
Anessa
Boris.
in Lycoris' room, which I don't know, and I am trying to prevent Lycoris setting a fire in Orlance's room.
Oh what? All right, well I'm next to Trafalgar. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's two fires. I'm next to
I
Lycoris.
understand. I'll
Then-
press the. Well, you were next to me a second ago.
Okay, we'll do it like this. Let's have an initiative.
Oh fuck! Hold on, I've got 2 character sheet things.
Oh yeah, where's my character?
Hey, you're
I love-
you're only dealing with Anessa right now. That's not
love that-
involved.
I love that our friends are downstairs drunk,
No,
not,
I've
not
got my
even
spell
knowing
sheet.
what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got a 19, bruh.
Oh, that's shit.
What did you get?
Fucking 9. Why is it going to the enemy?
Time I want
One
to get a
time.
high initiative, and I don't. I do have inspiration, but I don't want to waste it on this.
This is great. This all happened because I rolled really bad on a random roll earlier with Lee.
Okay, so Lycoris, of course, will succeed in chucking all the bottles onto the bed, well, smashing them, spilling it onto the bed, which is preparatory for a fire.
I've got my flint and steel, bruh. We're gonna Minecraft this bitch.
Esatari, make a grapple check, which is an athletics check. Good luck. Lycoris, make a counter athletics check, because let's be honest, it's probably going to be easy. Or acrobatics, but I mean,
Or strength check just to break free.
I was gonna say, what am I rolling? Sorry,
you
athletics.
athletics, yes. And
Ooh.
Lycoris.
Oh no!
Ooh. Oh my god.
Wow.
Get fucked.
Oh my god. So you see her pull out this lighter essentially. And you're like, oh fuck no. You immediately step forward, smack it out of her hand, grab her arm, push her back just enough that she's not directly in front of it, and you are blocking the path to the lighter itself that's currently on the floor. So like, it's like that right now. And it will be right there. You step directly in the way. Lycoris, it's your turn. You are currently grappled.
I'm just gonna stop flailing around
Hmm.
because even in my drunken state, I don't think I want to hurt Esatari. I think. How much does sanity impact on your previous?
Well, as of the minute, you've led toward the necessities of doing your insane thing. So it's up to you from here.
I'm just gonna start flailing around wildly, trying to break out.
Make an athletics or no, athletics or acrobatics check, yeah. And Esatari, make another athletics check. Yeah. I mean, it's not straight to say, but I mean, to be fair, that modifier, like.
Wait.
um,
I almost clicked animal handling then.
Esatari's an animal. Yeah. You break free easy. You kind of like. You just pull your arm free, pretty much.
I'm just gonna start like shouting at Esatari, but she fucking deserves it. She deserves it. All she ever does is lie. Everything she is a lie. It just needs to all go up in flames.
You can, of course, respond if you want, Esatari.
Maybe she does, but there's other people here. There's other people whose livelihoods depend on this place.
Oh.
Empathy.
I tried to decide whether Lycoris would be swayed by that.
No, she would not.
She's feeling pretty crazy right now, so I'm just gonna growl and dive at the lighter.
Knock her out. Knock the fuck out.
I go dive under Esatari's legs
I was gonna say
at the lighter.
Okay, well,
that's the action, right?
yeah, the escape was the action.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But you can get around, move over, and grab it ready.
Yeah.
Esatari.
I'm gonna grab her again by the wrist or whatever I can touch. Just
Mhm.
touch her if I need to, and I will waste a goddamn 5th level spell. And I would like to try and cure her drunkenness if I can with that.
Okay, so Lycoris, make a perception check. If you succeed this, you can make a counter acrobatics check to avoid her if you want, knowing sort of what she's doing. Okay, make an acrobatics check, and Esatari, make a sleight of hand check. Mm. So, as you quickly dart for the light, pick it up, you turn, you look toward her, ready to light it and throw it on the bed, and then you see she's reaching for you with an intention, and you see this small flare of magic running across her fingers for a second. You're just like, oh fuck that. You try to duck, but you kind of like slip on the rug behind, underneath you, and you stabilize yourself, but by that point she's touched your shoulder, and there's this mixture between damn it, she's got a and then your head starts to clear, like someone's removed the fog. What do you do?
I'll put the lid back on the lighter. Then I will pull out Sin Eater. And I will just smash the shit out of Orlint's bed.
Okay.
As loudly and as aggressively as I can.
You notice halfway through as you're like chopping into it, and it's not even sticks at this point. It's just smashed apart. You see fluff everywhere from whatever breed of animals' feathers have been stuffed into the pillows, and yeah. As you finish,
Esatari would just like to rub circular motions on her back while she's doing
oh. Every now and again you kind of have to like dodge to the left or dodge to the right. She takes a wide swing, but yeah, you know, it's mostly chill, yeah. And as you guys are doing that, Anessa, you
At
see,
this point, go on,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you see him like pouring this fluid along the ground, and you get this kind of aura of mischief and mayhem coming from him.
It's not mischievous. I'm not doing it for my own benefit.
No, you're not. But
Totally mischievous.
This isn't for me.
Has he lit the fire at this point?
no, not yet. Though there's enough fluid on the ground to start a fire in this room.
Oh, I'd planned for him to have lit it.
I mean,
You could wait.
yeah,
I might.
you can
I
hold.
want to see what he does.
You can
Yeah,
hold.
but remember this is oil, and oil will not be a small fire.
No, you can hold your action, by the way, if you want.
Would you say if he sets it on fire, would the fire only spread to a 30-foot radius or less? In the time that I can take my action.
Well, the room is only 45.
But it's a wooden building.
But it's a
so-
wooden building, and he's just spilled fluid everywhere. So
It's just
depends how
Accelerant.
it depends how quick you are, I guess.
I'll be quick. I'll hold my action for as soon as he drops that fucking lighter thingy. Yeah.
Okay. What are you holding?
A spell.
Okay. I figured that, but okay. We'll go with it.
Prestidigitation so she can
A
make the
jug of
flames
water.
flicker.
It's not prestidigitation.
Looks like a dragon. So dope.
Trafalgar, There does not seem to be any
Is
adversity.
is Anessa looking at me disapprovingly?
I'm looking at you just like, you fucking dare. Fucking do it, man. Just do it.
I'm just gonna point out then. I'm gonna say, Asatari's alone with a drunk, angry Lycoris. That doesn't sound pleasant down there. Why don't you just go help her out? This is clearly what Lycoris wants.
Just
So
in
let
the,
me do it, and
just
then
in the
we're all
distance,
safe.
You just hear the sound of something being smashed with such vigor.
I like flinch. I'm like,
So don't you think we should do this for Lycoris's benefit, and so that we can go get Asatari, and we're all out of here safe?
like Horus won't hurt Asatari, but you might hurt the people here.
She's drunk and angry. Like, have you
And
ever
my
seen her
brother is
drunk and angry?
downstairs.
Have you ever seen her drunk and angry? Your brother's on the way to the exit. We light this little fire, we go, we grab them, we grab your brother, we tell everybody to get out as we're going. And just remind you that you're still hearing things being smashed and shouting from Lycoris at this point.
I
Because
just
this is
watch.
all the same 6 seconds.
Yep.
I'm still watching him. Like, fucking dare. Fucking dare.
I am gonna. No, because my action would be to light it, but then unless Lee's gonna let me do that as a bonus action.
Well, put it this way: this turn, you set the floor on fire, one way or another. If you want.
Okay. I'm gonna point down the corridor and I'm just gonna go say the word go and try command you to do it.
Oh my god!
Make a wisdom save, Vanessa.
I sat for so long to plan it. I was like, I'm gonna be prepared for one. Wisdom save. What do I have to beat?
Oh,
That
it's
yeah,
fucking-
absolutely
that
beats
beats
it.
it, yeah.
Raise
Now
my
she's
eyebrow
even
at him.
angrier.
And I
Arms
just
folded, foot
I just-
tapping.
put one finger up to him and just be like, go on then, do it. Do it. You won't do it.
I will drop the lantern or the candle or whatever it was I was holding.
I think it was a candle.
And then I'm gonna dash past her before she
Nope.
can do shit to me.
I thought my action. As soon as you drop that thing, I take my action.
Do it. What is it?
I cast Watery Spear.
Ooh.
And it
Watery
is cast
Spear.
and Trafalgar is what is it? It says it can restrain as many as 4 creatures, so I want to restrain him.
Okay, hold on.
Please. And then I want
So-
to
He sets the fire, and a
ah,
watery sphere is created.
Yeah.
With a 5-foot radius. So you can hover, but no more than 10 feet off the ground. Speed remains for its restoration. Blah 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 blah. Restrain as many as 4 medium or smaller creatures or 1 large creature. The sphere restrains a creature that causes it to exceed this capacity. A random creature that was already restrained falls out. Can move out to 30
I
feet.
could block her view though, right? I could block her view. She's not much taller than me. She has to see the point within range. If I was in between her and the fire.
To be fair,
see the fire. I can see past you. Not like you're a wall.
you two.
But if I'm dropping it into oil directly at my feet and it's going to spread, you're not going to see all of it by the time I'm out your way.
But you're not getting out of my way.
How's about this? Both of you give me a sleight of hand check. All I'm going to say is, regardless, this is to determine what the chances of you getting away from the watery sphere are. If you succeed, you can roll the save with advantage. If you fail, you do it with disadvantage. This will determine which of you are quicker in your actions. So, sleight of hands, please. Mm. Oh, okay, yeah.
No!
Fucking
I think I'm
jeez.
plus 13! Oh,
Fucking
it's so
jeez.
unfair. This is so unfair!
My god, that's so fucking...
33!
Inspiration!
I
Um...
still want to catch him in my sphere.
Okay, first off...
If I can't
Um,
catch him, then I'll just have the sphere of where the fire is.
Yeah. Firstly, considering that, Trafalgar, do you have... Is it rogues or monks that have the dexterity, no damage thing?
So if it's an attack, I think I can get out of it. What is it? Uncanny dodge.
Yeah.
What if an attack hits
Evasion is what
me
I'm
with an
thinking of.
attack, or evasion is? Oh yeah, evasion's nimbly dodge out the way certain area of effects. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this, considering that 20, it's typically for a dex, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 33 nat, you literally broke the 30 barrier, so you drop the lighter. You wait specifically for it to just barely touch the ground before you spin, and almost like a panther on all fours for a second, you push yourself
In her face for a second too.
and you bolt. In that same second as you step off the ground and the fire begins, she flicks a wrist. The watery sphere almost immediately encompasses the fire, and you're just already bolting off. Feel free to run yourself ahead.
At this point, she's just spreading the oil around, so it's even easier to catch fire. Just gonna say, yeah, I've been
Here's a point.
halfway down the corridor.
The starter of the fire is snuffed enough that it's not catching wildly, though a corner of the carpet gets caught and is setting aflame.
Stamp on it.
So
I'ma
does,
send it to
does,
Falca's head.
so does she not just have to drop the spell? And
Yeah,
then
I
it'll
dropped the
spread
spell and it
30 feet?
splashes everywhere in 30 feet.
Okay. It very quickly falls to bits. The water spreads out very quickly, covers over a lot of the carpet, a lot of the oil on the ground kind of like spreads out a little further. The remnants of the start of the fire is very quickly snuffed by dropping just a bombshell of water on it. And I'm going to consider this out of initiative for now, considering the fires are snuffed. But down at the bottom, you have gathered something of a crowd. There's a couple of people like looking in with eyes of concern, and they're just looking around into the room. And what do you do?
I'm gonna just. I look absolutely feral right now.
Seething, frothing at the
So
mouth.
I'm just going to look up at the three people I don't know and just say, "Go away," and hope that I look feral enough for them to just leave.
Make an intimidation check with advantage. They just saw you randomly swinging a bloody sword around, so
Has Lycoris also got that cloak on that improves intimidation?
I do, but I haven't got the hood up, so it doesn't count.
Oh.
they very quickly just like fucking they just leave. They say nothing.
Slightly counteractive. Esari just like does the okay sign at people like patting her back. It's like, oh yeah, this is fine.
Trafalgar, looking down, you can see that tensions have dwindled into a kind of boring sit down on the crumpled bed. Do you want to take one of the side rooms and use that thing you were given?
No. No, I'm gonna save that for later. I'm just actually gonna go see how Lycoris is feeling now that she's obviously sobered up a little bit.
Hmm.
I just could pop my head in behind this guy and be like, "You okay? Asatara, you need anything?"
So say water? No. Does she even drink that? Probably not. Think we're doing all right. She's just working through some stuff.
Rage room. I'm just gonna slump on the ground and stare at the wall blankly.
See
I'm just gonna
progress.
just gonna try shimmy past these two and usher them out of the room and close the door behind them, if they will leave.
They do. They kind of just were here for any moral support that might be needed, but they very quickly just, like, okay, yep, this is not a fucking fight right now.
And then I'm just gonna stand next to Esatari, looking at Lycoris, and say, you know, Esatari's uncle kind of told me some news that might be good news for you, bad news for you. There is a way, I think, to break your connection to that cursed sword. I don't know if that'll make you in a better mood, you know, get rid of all the shit from your past. All I gotta do is, I think, stab you with one of my blades.
I'm not going to let you stab me.
Prick you with one of my blades.
I'm gonna pull out the letter I got earlier, and I'm just gonna like wordlessly hand it to Esatari.
Oh, not a joking matter. Okay.
What do I glean from the letter?
That Ishi is alive and wishes me to return to the clan.
How? I thought he was, Legion? No? Am I wrong?
Legion is dead, so
Yeah, but surely it takes a bit of time for reincarnation.
I just shrug. Do I know where the clan was based? Do I remember? I'm assuming it's
You
not
do.
on this continent.
It is not.
Is it in Janasta by any chance?
It is not.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fine. I can avoid it for longer.
It is in a
Where
place
is it
that
then?
Esatari also lives, known as Theron.
Oh. Oh.
There's lots of violence in Theron, don't worry about it. How do you feel about returning to
I'm gonna
the
look up.
clan?
I'm gonna look up with a very angry glare.
Understood, understood. Well.
Oh, let's just fucking leave.
Esther will just like pat her hand.
Wait, do we actually have anywhere to sleep?
Well, if you didn't break this bed, you would have slept here, but...
Well, I can go to my bed. My bed's still. Oh, my bed's covered in oil. I'll sleep on oil. I don't care.
Oil and water. And smells a bit burnt.
There are other rooms in this place, surely. Do you maybe have contacts still here that you're on friendly terms with, that we could arrange accommodation with? If not, I'm sure we can have... No, never mind. I won't say it.
We could clear this place out.
Mm-hmm.
Have it to ourselves for the night. You can go wild on whatever you want. And Essa just stopped me burning your bedroom down. I thought maybe burn your bridges for you.
I'm gonna look up and like open my mouth as if to say something, and then just be like, I'm not even gonna touch that. I guess we could tell them to leave.
I'm gonna open the bedroom door and just shout, "Everybody, get the fuck out!"
Sarsha started saying like, maybe we could go to, you know, your old friend Ishika's, and then she like just falls silent when he starts like shouting that. I'm like, no, fine.
Go to Ishgari's.
Yeah.
We could go to Ishgari's. It's a bit of a walk, but I don't know if it's even standing though, because it was near Lupula's, and Lupula's went underground. just gonna wander out. Do I see any of like Orlin's second in command people, or have they all gone?
Firstly, he looks at you, Trafalgar, with that look of like, bitch, please. And then he just.
I'm gonna take my blade out and just smash it down into the sofa arm next to him. I give him the most evil eyes I can give him,
Make an
and I'm gonna
intimidation
say,
with
don't
advantage.
make me repeat myself.
Make an intimidation with advantage.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. He puts on more of a face of like, "Ugh, please, I was leaving anyway," but he leaves very quickly.
And tell everybody else to get out too. And then I'm gonna head back towards Anessa and tell her to clear the rooms out with me. Help me clear the rooms out, I should say. Yeah.
Can I just go with? Could I just give Esatari some money, like I don't know, like 20 gold, and get her to give it to whoever is currently running the place, and just say, get her to tell them that 20 gold, everyone get out, and just leave it to us for the night.
Okay.
Because they know who we are. If they're someone that was here when someone that were here when Orlinth was here, they know who we are.
Yep. Okay. That, yeah, goes quite a distance. With a quick run around, everyone except for Oros, your allies,
Our buds.
and Iris, they stick around. Everybody else, anyone who's not a face character, let's be honest, leaves. And you have the place for the night to yourselves. As it is left to you solely, the sudden silence filling the place makes it strange, because it's never been silent before. There's always been laughter and subtle like noises in the background, but there's always been sound, and the sudden absence of it for you, you look around and mark the end of an era. The woman who made this place a home for you for so long just is gone. And there's these revelations, there's this strange history that you didn't know about, not just about yourself but about her too. And now even this place has lost that connection that you had to this place. It's kind of sad, really.
Well, I'm going to go straight back to what I was doing before. I'm going to go downstairs, go behind the bar, get a bottle of vodka, and go and lie down in front of the fire and just drink straight out the bottle.
Okay. What about everybody else? Because after this, we will end session 1.
I'm gonna go down, get a bottle myself, and I'm gonna sit on the stage and just be like, "Oh, remember when we did all that karaoke and what good times we all had?" And try and make it a little bit happier. And then when I can tell everybody's bored of my stories, I'm gonna sneak off and go read the letter that I have to read.
Okay. At some point, Oros and Iris both come over. If anyone questions why they're still here, mostly you'll just get a blank look. As you're recounting, Anriel joins you, continues the merriment alongside you for a bit, as the night continues on. Esatari, what are you doing?
Harry will go down next to the firefly chorus, but she's not gonna drink and she's just gonna snuggle up in the chair and try and sleep.
Oh, like a cat.
It's nice long chaise long kind of looking chair.
That's why I will go as you.
What were you doing?
Do I see Anessa eyeing the chair? Because if I see Anessa eyeing the chaise long, I'm just gonna go stumble and lie down somewhere else.
No, it's cool. I'll go over here.
What would you do with the night, Vanessa?
I don't know. Probably make Vlad go to bed. And then
It's
stay
past
up
your bedtime.
yeah, stay and play cards with these guys for a bit, and then eventually go to bed myself. Are we not using the upstairs? We're just all staying down here.
I mean, you can use the upstairs.
After we made everyone leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really want Vlad to use any of these beds.
You don't know what's on them.
Hey, they're
Exactly.
cleaned regularly, thank you.
Hey,
It's just
You know,
My-
like horses just has oil on it.
yeah, mine's just
Yeah.
oily. If you change the bedding, it'd be fine.
The bedding is in the bag of holding.
Oh shit,
You
yeah, I
emptied
forgot
your
about
drawers.
that. Yeah, that is a load of shit in that bag of holding right now.
Good thing it can hold a shit ton.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, Vlad's gonna go sleep on this sofa, and I'm gonna go on this one.
At some point in the night, you guys, while winding down, it's at that point where like some of you might still be like awake or still drinking, and you just like, I'm kind of done with the night. I might go to bed soon. You hear a beautiful rendition of "Sweet Child of Mine" from Anriel and Kier,
Of course.
as they are at that beautiful layer of drunk and generally odd. After that, Kira immediately crashes out on the piano. All you hear is boom, and Anriel goes to find a place to sit and goes unconscious. Utsuma, I mean, he just kind of stays at the bench, really. Puts his head down.
Snuggled up with what's his face.
Yes, but
Two drunk boys snuggling.
and as the night slowly comes to an end, Trafalgar, you pull out that weird bead with the two white dots. You crush it in your hand after checking the doors closed and no one's listening in, and throw the quilt over your head as well, because why not? After you crush it, you get this sensation in the back of your head, and you hear, "Trafalgar, what has taken you so long, my boy?" And yes, this is a two-way communication.
We got tied up and
You
Just
better
tell them.
mean that literally. I sent a lot of money to get that boat to get you out of town. Why haven't you sent any missives?
because I got caught up and I ended up in the Underdark. And there's a whole story, but trust me, it's good reason I've not left. And that money will be repaid to you. It always is.
Aye, I believe that. But tell me, more so than anything, did you get in touch with the drow fella?
Yeah, I did. He's a bit of a dick.
No, he was really fucking frustrating to do sendings with. But, nevertheless, are you coming home soon?
Not to where you are. I'm going home to where my mother is. But I will be in touch with you more often when I can.
Aye, you've had a lot of interesting developments if you're wanting to see your mother. Are you,
Well, would you?
are you off the soap by any chance?
Not by choice, but yes. Turns out it's some dead guy, and it's what you've been selling people. So did you know that?
Aye, of course I did, lad. Come on. I don't make a
Well,
literal deal with a demon for nothing.
well, I think we vanquished him accidentally, but trust me, the people I've met, very useful. You might make friends with some of them. Business could be good.
The silence leaves you concerned for a second. Not because you think the call or whatever it is ended, but because silence for him usually means people get beheaded.
Look, I know I normally work alone, but these people top
Are
tier skills.
untested. I
One of
don't-
them ran the Nima Void for years. She's a literal, basically demigod with some mental issues, but still good for us.
You're not
Essentially.
doing me a good job trying to explain this right now. I'ma go ahead and contain the anger that I'm feeling, but this better be well explained when you get back.
It will. I think the next plan is that we head to the capital in
Aye.
Genasta, so I don't know where you are. If you're around, maybe you'll meet them sooner than expected.
I'm currently at a shoddy little shithole. Their only export is some onyx stone. I think they called it wind bar or something similar. I'm here on a executive mission.
Well, hang around for a few days, make yourself comfortable. I think that's actually where we are going to be arriving.
Good. Then I'll see you here soon. Be on your best behavior, alright?
I will, as always.
I'll have an array of items available for you when you get back.
Okay. That I can deal with.
Is there anything?
I gotta go.
Yep.
They're gonna be missing me. And then I'm just gonna hang up. However that works in
You
this.
just think to yourself like, wait, how do I do this? And then that like fogginess in your head fades, and you're like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, as you look around the room, it's still the same. You look out the window a little bit, and there's just a wall behind you. You're not too sure why there's a fucking window there, but you know. And yeah, that will kind of be that.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the game, we will continue playing up until the last moment that you literally can no longer play. If everybody can play on Wednesdays, great, we will play. Worst case, we'll either figure something else out, because again, I do have the Descent into Avernus module that I'm working on. You are all welcome to play it if and or when you can. Unlike this game where I have the rule of if one person's missing there's no game, in that one if one person's missing, still a game. If two people, no game. But yeah, just allows people to go in and out because it's a module. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter because it is still fun and it's a campaign and slightly linear, but anyway, stuff. I will invite you all to the game at some point and tell you stuff and things, and you can make characters for the start of the game that will be different characters to the ones you play the campaign in, or you can just, those of you that are available can just play one or the other or both, or we'll play it by ear. Whether that's Wednesday or we replace Thursday with it or whatever way it works.
See.
But yeah, as always, it is fucking amazing to play with you, bunch of nerds. And if this is, for one reason or another, the last time we play this game for a little bit, it has been fucking amazing, and I hope at the very least, even though it's not a good resolution point for Brewin technically, you're all at something of enough of a resolution on paper that if we did leave the game here for a while, you'd be okay with that. Worst case, I will talk to you all about specifics at some point.
It's like the cliffhanger at the end of like
Yes.
a book, and you know the next book will come eventually.
Yes.
You just gotta wait.
It's that season of a show that you've got to wait a year or two
Yeah,
for the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully people can do another day of the week for August at least, and then it gives us a few more sessions.
I mean, I think I should be able to do Wednesday because my parents couldn't do Thursday during term time because they do stuff in term time with the schools, but it's not term time, so I might be able to swap the days just for the summer.
Yeah.
It should give us
And
at
then
least 4 more weeks.
Yeah. And then September will be a definite no.
You'll have your
Because you'll be a
break.
zombie.
Because I'll be a zombie. It might even be end of August if he decides to come early, so
Fair.
we will see.
Just to check with you, mostly out of curiosity for, I mean, really what you're going to do with stuff. Do you want to keep playing when baby is here?
I will, just not for like the first month or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
5
absolutely.
6 weeks, just because it's a massive change in routine,
Yeah.
and I will need to figure stuff out with Emma and baby, obviously. So yeah, but yeah, the game will continue. The game will continue. Me and Lee have kind of discussed
Mm-hmm.
plans a little bit to plot. Yeah, it's just whether it gets there or not, really, isn't it, at this point? But
Yeah.
if we can do the next 4 weeks, it should be easily accomplished. So yeah,
Nice. Sounds like a plan.
Well, if that's the case, then,
Okay.
in the times you're not available, I have the Descent of Avernus game on the side. And if you do want to join that, you are obviously infinitely welcome to play it alongside. And we'll swap between the games as and when, or we'll do one week, one the other, depending on how everyone's wanting to play.
Yes.
And availability and all that. We'll work around it. Because you lot are my favourite nerds.
Okay.
that's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, man, absolutely. But, I mean, put it this way, I would
Yeah.
much rather play with literally any combination of you lot, and maybe some other people from one of my other games, than literally any other person on the fucking planet sometimes, because randoms are so insufferable. They're so insufferable. And
Yeah.
uh,
Me and Connor knew that pain before we got Aaron.
yeah,
Oh, that was a hard
Yeah.
hard few months.
Well, I'm glad to be of some use in people's lives.
And on that note, we can go because
Yes.
Chloe has needed to go to bed for
Yeah.
like